Greetings and salutations, folks. It's the 17th of November, the Saturday before all hell breaks loose in Survivor Series. It's the Shootin' the Breeze breakfast special. Yes, it is. We're once again an hour early. The panel has been convened. We're short right now. We're waiting for him to show up. But if he shows up during the show, fine. If not, that's fine too. I'm joined, as always, by my friend, cohort, crime partner, whatever you want to call him, the man from the land of the rising sun, Mr. Dr. Senju. Good morning to you, sir.
You. Never mind.
No, that is not allowed. I hear that in the background. Do not do that.
Someone has their own soundboard now, it seems like.
Only one, a soundboard with only one sound, which is enough for me, but I'm just going to play that one.
I'm putting mine together for the move.
Mm-hmm. I know you are.
It's going to be glorious.
You're gonna pull out the dusty old one, but in any case, glorious. Good evening, because it's still. Oh well, technically it's not really good evening now. It's good morning because it's now 12 a.m. over my side. I am MDS. I just woke up. I had a good amount of coffee for about 45 minutes earlier on. I am also kind of buzzed because I actually added something inside the coffee as well, and it's not really something that should be added into the coffee. Do not add sake into coffee because it tastes horrible.
Are you drinking sake again?
No, no. Based on what we're about to talk about, I think we need a little bit of both coffee and sake. So I drank black coffee with a shot of it, and it tastes so horrible. Please do not try that at home. Just don't. Coffee
with Baileys is the best.
Yeah, coffee and Baileys, or if you're a tea kind of lover, tea and honey or tea with mint would work just as well.
Oh,
but I am good.
Tea with lemon, honey, and Jack Daniels. Yes.
Ooh, yes. In any case, I'm fine. I'm good. I had a good week. Let's see. To wrap it all up in a bun, my week has been good. It's nothing much to complain about, other than the fact that work has been punishing my ass as of late. But it figures. It figures. People procrastinating work. It happens. So can't complain about that. Already complained about that last week, so can't complain about it this week again. So
nope.
Shit happens. But in any case, we have guests. Takers.
We have guests anywhere. Yes, we do.
We have a lot of guests. We have a lot of guests in the breakfast diner. It's been might I point it out, it has been 4 months since we last opened. So
there was a lot of dust there I saw. Oof.
Well, there's dust, and then there's muck, and then there's dirt. We haven't really opened. But in any case, and beneath this dirty, dusty exterior, we have guests that we invited over.
Yeah. Yes, we did. We have a lot of guests this morning, starting with the woman that's out in the great wild, wild west. Ellie. Morning, Ellie.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday morning.
I would be if it wasn't snowing.
Gee, okay.
Are you excited and looking forward to this pay-per-view tomorrow?
Not really.
Right. She's just with a casual, nonchalant, not really.
Really?
Not really.
That we will find out why as the show progresses.
We'll see.
Also, we're joined with the man who has ruthless aggression running in his veins. Metal Matt, also a Uber mark for the Iconics. The of WWE. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you looking forward to Survivor Series?
I'll be honest, not really.
Not really.
Like the one match I actually wanted to see got canceled
because someone got their face broken. We'll get into that later.
Because of Nia freaking Jax. That's
don't jump ahead.
That voice you hear there is my brother from another mother, the man in New Jersey, who had a interesting day Thursday when they got snow while he was at work, and it took him almost 2 hours to get home on a ride that normally takes 45 minutes, Chris?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And are you looking forward to Survivor Series?
No, not at all. But I do have an important question here.
What's that?
If I already finished my breakfast, how long do I have before I have to leave the premises?
Coffees are on a bottomless cup of coffee, so you can stay as long as you wish.
Okay, good. All right, good. As long as I don't have to vacate my table. That's all I care about.
No,
Why do you need to vacate your table?
That's a rule here in a lot of places here in the U.S. Is that
Oh.
if you are if you have finished your meal or you are no longer participating in the patronage of the restaurant and are taking up space for other paying customers, then you get kicked out.
Ugh. Okay.
I only dealt with that when because I worked in that business when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
And I only dealt with that when we were like on the dinner rush or breakfast, lunch, dinner rush. We would try to move people out.
Mm-hmm.
But this is back in the day when we had smoking sections in the restaurants, and they would leave or they would sit there and smoke. So
okay.
the smokers would sit there and smoke, so it would be a little longer before they left.
I mean, over my end, I think it's more it's actually just nonverbal understanding that when you're finished, you're done, and then you just leave the table. Look at that. And if you're sometimes waiting and saying it's okay, some people say it would actually. Most of the people would say go. It's okay. I'm just leaving anyways. They're just finishing it. They just get up and then just go leave. It happens because
I never see that happen.
Yeah, because over here, number one, the shops are freaking small for those of the low cost variety, and usually in the middle class still, and the midpoint still, the shops are pretty small. For the high end variety, that's where you see those high class restaurants and restaurants with lots of space and tables for you to sit, at. So that's quite nice. But still, for the very high ones, that's the very high pricey ones that you do not need to go to. Don't go there. Because usually the high priced ones are usually the ones who sell non-Japanese food or Western foods, like say French foods or Italian foods, if you like pasta. So here, those are actually quite good. So, in any case, we're not just talking about Italian food or French foods. We're talking about breakfast. And our breakfast menu for today is WWE Survivor Series 2018.
And well, we could start though. We have an appetizer this morning.
Oh, okay.
Because
I forgot that we have appetizers.
Yeah, this morning. because WWE finally got smart, and between NXT's Takeover War Games and WWE Survivor Series, those two shows, you only have 12 matches total. We're not having the 13 to 15 match extravaganza.
Holy shit!
On the main card.
If it happens again that I'm going to have to serve breakfast with a 13-meal course, I need to pay. I need to go ask my boss to ask for a larger paycheck for this. So
yeah.
I am not paid enough to serve you guys 13 meals.
None of us are. I mean, save it for WrestleMania only.
Yeah. That's where we can actually just dish out every single kind of breakfast that we can.
This size of card for Survivor Series is about right. You want between 8 and 10 matches in a normal pay-per-view. If you want your Super Bowl to be special, you keep it special by having it be long and make the rest, get them in, get them out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the best way to look at it.
Yep.
Understandable. Yes, it is. I mean, Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna cede to the guest. Which do you want? Do you want to discuss war games first, which is our appetizer, or do you want to go to the main course?
Let's go with War Games first.
All right. Everybody else just agreeing on appetizers first.
Fine with me.
All right. Matt, are you okay with this?
Sure.
And AA.
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay, so we are going to touch on the appetizers first, which is the NXT Takeover War Games.
Man,
NXT will pack Staples Center on Saturday for the return of War Games for the latest Takeover event. Although only 4 matches are on the card instead of your typical 5, the lineup isn't really lacking in value because these match cards have a tremendous amount of hype surrounding them. To those of you who actually touch on regularly watch on NXT, because usually more often than not NXT events outshine the main roster events. So if you're thinking about skipping Takeover War Games because you don't know much about it, here's your chance to just kind of if you miss out on last year's War Games, here's your chance to jump in and see what War Games is about. Because
As my partner always says, don't bet against the takeover ever.
Yes,
No.
never bet. Well, there is one instance where the main event actually outshined the Takeover events, and that was actually this year's Survivor Series. No, this year's SummerSlam, which surprises, yeah, it did actually live up to expectations of the main roster event. But other than that, it's always has been Takeover, trumping the main roster.
yes.
But okay,
That started at Takeover Brooklyn 1.
Yeah, that started the first ever Takeover. It's first ever Takeover, I think.
When they started doing the joint shows on the same weekend.
Yeah.
The Takeover 1 in Brooklyn they killed it that night. They absolutely killed it. They set the bar so high the main roster couldn't even come close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, but in any case, I'll run down the whole match card, which is just 4 of them right now. But don't underestimate the number of matches in this card, because we have a War Games match with between the Undisputed Era and the Mishmash team of Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders. Number 1. And then you have the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa faces off against Velveteen Dream. You have Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. And last but not least, NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane with a 2 out of 3 falls anywhere. False count match. Not false count anywhere. I do believe it's not a false count anywhere.
No, it's not. It's just 2 out of 3.
All right, 2 out of 3 false count.
Those are the kinds of matches I like.
All right. So let's go with the big one then. The Undisputed Era versus Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and War Raiders in a War Games match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your favorite person is in it, Mr. Mediocre.
No, he's not my favorite person. Everybody says. Go ahead.
As we said on my show on Thursday, the talent level of this match, when Adam Cole is the worst worker in the match, the talent level in this match is pretty intense. I mean, you go from a guy who is one of probably the 10 best workers in the world in Pete Dunne to one of the world's best tag teams in the War Raiders to constantly highly praised workers like Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. You just have so much great talent in that ring. And the structure of it is definitely going to be better than last year's. Like the three teams of 3 from last year, just like the match was pretty good. I don't think it holds up necessarily as good as everybody says that it was at the time. Everybody was losing their minds over how good they said last year's match was. I don't think it necessarily holds up, but this year's match I think will be better.
I think that what they did with the 3 teams in 3, like I said in the comments the other night, Thursday night on your show, Chris, a War Games match should be 2 teams of 4. That's it. 8 guys, and you do it. Start with 2, then you start adding, and it's a. I've always liked the War Games thing, but I'm wondering, are they going to have the roof on the cage this time?
Who knows?
Good question. Because usually, the thing I criticized about the last War Games was that, one of the members there, I think it was Alexander Wolf, took the key, lock all of the people in the cage, and swallowed the key without even thinking that there's a roof overhead. You can just climb up over the cage.
Yeah, but they had a stipulation that if you climbed over the cage, you were disqualified.
Yeah, I know.
That's asinine.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll introduce the seal with the fully enclosed cage. If they don't, maybe they'll still continue on with the whole stipulation that if you climb over the cage, you are disqualified. Maybe.
That was asinine in my book.
Okay, let me just run down the whole story a little bit quick, because here's the thing. This all spawns from the Undisputed Era's capturing of the NXT Tag Team Championships, which, for one, War Raiders are hunting, Ricochet's capture Adam Cole's North American title, and their continued skirmish with Pete Dunne. Of course, the babyface will set aside the differences, band together as a team to fight the common enemy after several brawls, several fights. General Manager William Regal has had enough of this kind of shit and just booked this gimmick match to settle the score. So, there you go. I mean, all of us, I think, understood the concept of war games. So, that's that. My only criticism is that only after going through last year's War Games match, Undisputed Era hasn't really learned its lesson and has remained a perpetual problem for the NXT roster, as it is in the same spot yet again, like last year. This is the team to beat, band together to fight the common enemy. That's pretty much it. Afterwards, what's going to happen? That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my only critic of the thing, because the whole card, because like you said, this is a stacked card. This is a stacked card chock full of talent. Ricochet, Pete Dunne, War Raiders, Undisputed Era with with Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. And it speaks for himself. When you're actually saying that Adam Cole might just probably be the worst guy, the worst guy to be in this one, speaks volumes about it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, no titles are on the line. Let me point it out. No titles are on the line. Just bragging rights. If you beat the Undisputed Era, you'd be one of the sole people who can definitely say that I beat the Undisputed Era in a War Games match. No consequences will come out of it, though.
Yeah, and that's I think is the probably my biggest gripe about the whole thing is the fact that like War Games being an every year thing is gonna get stale pretty quickly if that's if that's what they're planning on doing. If they're gonna have it every year, that's just gonna get stale pretty quick, and I don't like that. I think that like they should probably think about staggering it so that they do different things each year.
I agree.
I mean, like I said earlier on, it's the same thing all over again. You're fighting the Undisputed Era in a War Games match. You band together. That's it.
Yeah.
The only difference being is that where last year there was 4 teams, now there's only 2.
No, 3 teams.
3 teams. Now there's only
3
2.
teams of 3. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 teams of 3. Now there's 2 teams of 4, which is okay in my books. But this is all just kind of like a spectacle show. I mean, what say you?
Yeah, I mean,
I was just about to ask. What say you, Metal Matt?
Well, I was going to say I wouldn't mind it being an annual thing as long as there was something at stake, like a title, like the tag titles or something like that, or maybe the winner gets like a future title shot or something like that. Like I don't know, just something at stake,
The only thing that I can see that's at stake is if the faces win War Games, War Raiders might just say, yeah, maybe we can have a shot at the NXT title, tag team titles. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think the ragtag team of Ricochet, War Raiders, Pete Dunne, and who else is in this match?
You got everyone.
You got Ricochet, everyone on the face. There's only 4 people per team.
Yeah,
you got everybody. War Raiders, Hanson, and Rowe. Maybe we can just call them Hanson and Rowe if you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rip to Rowe's first name. He's now just Rowe. He's not Ray Rowe.
Yeah. which is just
Yeah,
wait a
what
minute.
the hell? What the hell is that with WWE? By the way,
I don't know.
We need to add this into the list again. I mean,
Yeah, there's
what?
so many things on the list
Yeah,
So
already.
many things on the list.
no names. We're talking about names.
I know.
We
Yeah.
have we've added names to a list of people that have been made. Don't forget, we got Luke and Eric
Mhm,
to
yep.
add. Now you got Ray and what's the
Antonio, Alexander,
Biggie,
Adrian.
Adrian. Do we count Adrian still? Because now Neville has
Yeah,
I mean,
officially been
it's
out.
still was a name that was lost. Yeah, so
it's WWE property. Henceforth, it is still on the list.
Okay.
It made the list. Okay.
Okay. I'm not saying that they didn't. Okay, they did. Jeez.
Yo, Adrian.
Well, I think the reason that they do it is because they think it's more marketable.
Yeah.
Maybe the name just rolls off the tongue better, like Madonna or Bono or Sting.
Maybe. No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Just no.
Yeah, basically just no. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what else? We have Alexander, Antonio, Biggie, Adrian, Hansen,
Langston, yeah, for Biggie. Yeah.
Biggie, Langston,
Yeah, it's now just Biggie.
and then let's not forget, what was it? Samson for Elias.
Yeah. Did you remember Claudio for
No, not Claudio.
No.
Antonio
No,
for
no.
Cesaro.
Antonio.
Antonio for Cesaro.
Antonio? That's right. Yep. Claudio is his indie name. Never mind.
It's
Claudio.
okay. Claudio Castagnoli. Yep. Delicious there.
A Swiss wrestler with an Italian last name. Go figure.
Oh, you can be anybody in the independent scene. I believe. I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
We have crazier stuff.
Yeah. That would be like if they took Crazy Chris's first name away, just called him Colgan.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That would be that would represent the entirety of my
Family.
no. That would represent the entirety of my life throughout high school and college, where I was just surrounded by the people named Chris, so only ever was called by my last name. So.
I did not know. I did not know that.
That was just what it was. Yep. Basically that. Yeah.
I did not know that, Chris. I hope I did not trigger
No,
trigger you in any way.
No, not at all. I just still find that hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah. It is hilarious because you imagine you sharing the same name as another person, and then imagine you sharing the same name as 5 other people, and it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you look at some of the threads.
Mhm.
You got Matt DSM and you got Metal Matt, so you got 2 Matts going on.
No. Well, at least you have a distinction. The other first one we call him Metal Matt. That's it, or just Metal, or MM, or anything. The other one we just call Matt.
Yeah,
I mean, poor Metal Matt, because then he'd had to be reduced to being known as Metal Matt rather than just plain old Matt.
or Matt of Metal. We got all
Matt
kinds of
Metal.
different.
I mean, I prefer to be called Metal anyway, so it doesn't bother me.
So, I mean, I do find that hilarious too. It's but in any case, so in any way, I mean, okay, because there's not much to talk about on this one. Let's go straight to the predictions. Who do you think will win on this?
Probably. I think that Team Babyface gets the win because there's really nothing left for Undisputed Era to do at NXT at this point. Like, it's established basically that they are like the power faction in this in the I guess you have to call it the company at this point. I don't really know what else to call it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so.
they are the power faction in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get down to it, that's all you've got for them to do. So it's it's about time that you start setting up for them to head up to the main roster. If they're going to go to the main roster, I mean, who knows at this point? But I mean, it's about time you start setting that up, I think.
Yeah, really. I mean, like you said, that's not much you can do with Undisputed Era, considering that they have most of the title.
Yeah, I mean, they won the tag titles. Adam Cole's gotten the North American title. I don't think they're gonna have him get the NXT title at this point.
No, at this point, no, because they already established that this is, like you said, this is a powerful stable. This is a well-established stable, so they can simply just ship them to the main roster, just develop them as they go. But what else do you need to develop these team with? That's it.
Yeah.
The fact that maybe increased Mr. Mediocre to Mr. Okay, Mr. Average to Mr. Okay, I guess that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's my wish anyway. My own personal opinionated wish. So yes, I still think he's still average, but that's just.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, people. It all comes up from this point that people are saying that Adam Cole is bringing his best work in the NXT, and my question is, have you guys actually watched ROH? I mean, not to knock on too much on the guy, because I think he's a good workhorse, but that's just pretty much it. He's just a good worker, and that's pretty much it.
But he's not the best worker in the world either.
He's not the best, but you can rely on him.
I mean, the other 7 guys in this match they run circles around Mr. Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
Tip jar coming out, $25 fine right now. Okay. I mean, I call it too. Team Face won. It's Team Face winning because at least I can see War Raiders having having a whisper of a shout going. We can challenge. We beat you guys. We can challenge for the NXT title, for the NXT tag title. So, but other than that, there's nothing to be gained if Undisputed Era wins.
Not at all.
Nothing to be lost if Undisputed Era loses. So
no. I mean, the only thing that I think that they should be mindful of at this point is that the War Raiders should get the pin, and it should be on O'Reilly and Strong. Don't have Ricochet get the pin because he doesn't need it. No. And you don't need to have Pete Dunne get the pin either because he's not really even like. He's not even really involved as as an integral part of this. He's just kind of there.
He's hardly ever here in the United States, really.
Yeah, because he travels a lot. He goes to independent wrestling shows, and he also works for NXT UK. That's it.
Yeah, but he defends that belt at the independent shows.
Yeah, true.
Well, and that's the other thing too is that I think the only reason why they were like bringing him in for this and having him be an important part of it was because they're trying to build
the NXT brand or the UK brand.
Yeah, they're trying to build buzz for NXT UK.
Yeah,
which is sensible.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. But I think War Raiders pinning the tag of O'Reilly and Fish, or is it O'Reilly and?
Oh wait, is War Raiders is an elimination? War Games is an elimination match, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, it's not. No.
Wait.
No, it's not. No, it's not an elimination match.
No. A team can win by pinfall submission, or if the opposing team exits the cage in an attempt to avoid the chaos. So.
Okay.
No elimination. This is a team versus team. Anybody can.
And the match doesn't officially start until all members are inside.
Right.
Yeah.
the structure.
So basically, you're beating each other up until all 8 people are in, and then you hear the bell ding ding, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
So yeah.
And we know the heels are going to win the whole coin toss. They usually do.
They already did. That happened this week on NXT.
Go figure, right?
Yeah,
there's not much to talk about.
How many times did the 4 Horsemen win the frickin' toss? Every time.
I mean, okay. I mean, I think this one is a flat out really easy to predict kind of thing. As well. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be a bad War Games match because it's going to be a great one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's absolutely going to be a great one.
Yeah, it's just that you're not going to remember it in T-1 week, I guess. Maybe in T-1 week, maybe. So
I don't know. It's possible you could.
Yeah, you can remember it about 1 week or 2. But I mean, it's a good match that maybe you won't really remember much about because even if we sing praises about last year's War Games, we can't really remember what happened now. So,
I mean, it's the only thing people really remember now is Alexander Wolf being a bloody freaking mess.
Yeah, and bleeding on the mat.
Yeah, and don't forget. I think that was Bobby Fish hit himself in the head with a chair.
Yeah,
which he got in trouble for.
Yeah, kind of, but let's not blow bubbles on that one. Okay. Quickly moving on. I have NXT Champion versus NXT Challenger, Mr. Blackheart himself versus the Velveteen Dream himself. Quick roundup. As champion, Tommaso Ciampa will be ready for all challengers, and in the process of picking out who's next in line, Velveteen Dream made it a point to stand out. So they traded verbal shots, started under each other's skin, interfering in matches and whatnot. And of course, before long, you know how the story goes. Getting under the skin gets too much. Velveteen Dream gets his wish to fight against the champion. Here you go. He got his first true chance at the NXT Championship.
Yeah, maybe Dream will. I don't know. I mean, I love the kid, Patrick Clark.
He's not winning this match. There's no way he's winning this match.
It's going to Ciampa.
Yeah, it's going to stay with Ciampa, but I still think that like the whole thing that Ciampa and Gargano are still on the NXT roster. Like, I know that there was the whole the press call this week. And Triple H said that there's going to be NXT lifers. That might end up being Ciampa and Gargano. But and that's all well and good. If that's how they want to run it, then cool.
Okay.
But if they really want to do something different, then I think that they need to think about other ways to have these two be utilized rather than having them constantly be in the centerpiece of the title feuds and whatnot.
True.
So,
I mean, these guys aren't really...
shouldn't. Go ahead.
I mean, those two guys, in particular, Ciampa and Gargano in particular, because we're talking about these two, they aren't really spring chickens either. They're both 31 and 33 years old. They're in their early 30s, but they're slowly. I think we're going to expect. Come to an understanding that they're going to start declining in terms of work rate and whatnot. This is. Maybe they don't. Maybe they'll do a miraculous way of just still fighting, even though it's at 30 years old, because some of the people are still wrestling good wrestling matches in their 40s, and some people even have wrestling matches at their 50s. So there's that. But I mean, if the decision comes to maybe we'll set both Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in NXT for life, then that's a good understanding, because maybe we can just let them be there for life and then just shift them or move on if they wanted to move on, because
but if they're going to be NXT lifers, then shouldn't they be more along the lines of what Cassius Ohno's doing?
Yeah,
I think that's my personal opinion. Gargano and Ciampa both can be great carpenters. They don't need. We don't need Ciampa holding the championship belt for Vern Gagne lengths in NXT.
Yeah, and we also don't need to have the epic of Johnny Gargano being the centerpiece of the entire promotion for a year plus.
He's basically been the centerpiece since the whole breakup of DIY.
Yeah.
And like you said, we need to heal DIY as tag team. On Thursday night, you said that, or was that George who said that?
No, I said that. I mentioned that.
Yeah, and that would be an interesting run.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you say about this? Is he there?
Matt?
I think the definite end plan, the end game for Takeover, WrestleMania Takeover, it's definitely going to be Gargano Ciampa for the NXT title. So
again,
I think so. I think so.
Why?
I think that is the end game. I'm not saying it should happen, but I think that's what will happen.
Well, why? Give me one good reason as to why.
Just to bring a definite end to this storyline, I think
you could do that here. You could do that here. You could do that at the Royal Rumble takeover.
I mean, they could, but I don't think they will.
Oh shit!
I mean, I think it's going to end with Gargano end up turning face once again and overcoming Ciampa once and for all. I mean, I think that's the way they're going to go. So with that said, I think Ciampa retains the title here.
That does have a point. They can do it. It's only a question of will they do it.
Someone give me a gun.
I wish I could.
No.
You know what I'm saying, Chris? You know why I'm saying that? Because this is the kind of thing you want to shoot this feud in the head and have it just be done.
Yeah,
it doesn't need it. What more is there? There is no meat left on that bone.
There's nothing left to do.
And I agree. It should have ended last year at WrestleMania Takeover.
And here's another thing, Matt. What you're saying? If NXT does do that, that's a flipping main roster WWE Vince McMahon goddamn move. We don't want that on NXT.
No,
NXT is a wrestling company that does television, not a television company that does wrestling.
I mean, it's a point where we can just. I think it's a point where we can say that whether they want to pull it off or whether they don't want to pull it off that's the biggest question of all.
The thing about it is that we talk about how bad Turner was when he owned WCW, right? Vince is doing his best impersonation of Ted Turner right now. Anybody here deny that fact?
No. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Not well versed about, but I can say that he's trying to meddle. I think he's trying to meddle his way, not metal, but meddle his way. So,
jeez,
METTLE, yes.
No, not metal. MEDDLE.
Oh, metal. MEDD. Yeah, no, I misspelled it. My bad.
Yeah, but I can't see past Velveteen Dream. Whether he's still officially heel or not, he'll be at least be playing the part of babyface, with the crowd most likely behind him. I mean,
that's the thing. That's the thing. Velveteen Dream, his character's supposed to be heel, but he's getting the face pops.
Yes, well, because people like the fact that he's doing something different and that he represents something different.
Yeah,
different, so
it's different and it's new. So
he owns that character.
Yes,
he absolutely owns it.
Yeah, and he owns that character, so people undoubtedly will naturally gravitate towards him. And then we have the other side of the coin, people who actually are behind Tommaso Ciampa's methodology. They want him to win, even though he's still the heelish Blackheart thing. We love a heel champion sometimes. Most of us love a heel champion who does heelish work. So we want him to win. Based on previous performances, especially in Velveteen Dream's case, this is sure to be a great fight, if not a good one. It's gonna be a great fight. If not I guess. So.
I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say that, like, I'm gonna stick with what I said. This is probably going to be the. And again, this is not an indictment of the match, because there always has to be a match that is not that is the worst of the match on the card. But I think this is going to be the worst match on the card. But it still should be a good one, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be the worst match on the card, because I have been proven wrong before in cases of takeovers. Yeah, I've been proven one time where I say I'm not going to buy in this one, so. No, I eat my hat on that one.
And then that match that you're talking bad about tears the house down, and you're sitting there to following it going, "I'm an idiot."
I'm an idiot. I was wrong.
But we all do it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that. Whenever I'm wrong, point me out and say, maybe I am.
But like you said, Chris, is this. And anybody else can disagree with me on this, is that if this is the worst match on the card, it's still going to outshine everything the main roster's got.
That is not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there.
Because NXT is just, in my opinion, is just a better product.
Yes.
Just a tablespoon of what Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa is doing, and let me sprinkle it over the whole main roster. Maybe that'll make it all better.
Oh, geez. If you could just put a teaspoon of what NXT is doing. Sprinkle a teaspoon of that over the main roster. It would improve the quality of matches tenfold.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in any case, anyone else not see Ciampa retaining the title?
What do you see, Ambrose? Or you really don't watch NXT all that much, do you?
No, I don't watch it a lot, but I still see Ciampa retaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the only one that sees it the other way.
Oh, okay.
So I said that early on. I mean, is Patrick Clark too young? Maybe. He's only 22 years old, but he's been in the business for 4 years. He worked in the indie circuit. He worked in the indie scene in Maryland.
Uh-huh.
Remember, this is a guy who was cut from Tough Enough, but yet was the only one there in that group that got up to watch Beast of the East live. Woke up in the middle of the night to watch it. Everybody.
He clearly cares about the game. He's a student of the game and cares about.
He loves the business. He absolutely loves the business. And that shows through in his character work.
Yep.
Yeah.
His in-ring work, I mean, he's still quite choppy, but he's only been doing it for 4 years. Not everybody can be like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Who is owning her heel character brilliantly. She's still going at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Killing it.
But
my girl.
Oh, go ahead. Dear.
My girl.
Yeah.
Talking about my girl.
Yeah, damn right. We're going to be talking about my girl for years to come. She's damn good.
Fucks given.
Yep.
Zero fucks given. I mean, let's quickly move on to the next one. Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, the only non-title match in the whole card.
War games.
Before we go any further, Madeline, I tend to agree with you on this. She said she's not going to feel bad for the NXT zealots as Ciampa Gargano continues their death march towards swallowing NXT whole.
Yeah. Nor do I.
No denying that fact, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Vince done got into it, and that's a mistake.
He's meddling.
Yes, meddling. He is.
He's starting to meddle again. That's something worrying. If it is actually quite true that Vince is actually starting to meddle with what Triple H is fixing in NXT. So there's that. In any case, Black versus Gargano. An obsession to take down Ciampa. Johnny Wrestling has lost his soul. Well, not necessarily so, but just that he's just enjoying the darkness.
Well, Aleister Black is one of AA's favorites.
Yes,
I know she fell in love with him the first time we talked. We told her to go watch his match, and she came back. She's like, "Oh my god!" I like him.
I do like him, and I, as a true fan, whether he wins or loses, I'm still behind him. So I'm going to say it's going to go to Aleister Black.
Mm-hmm. Chris, I have a question for you. Is this the only storyline-esque match that we have in the card?
Yes, it really is. I mean, the whole, Undisputed Era versus Team Babyface does have some element of a storyline to it, only because it stems back to Ricochet versus Cole for the title.
True.
But other than that, this is the only actually, no. I mean, Kairi Shayna, there's story to that too.
Yeah.
They're not as hardcore like this one, because this is chock full of kind of story.
And again, this is purely story. Yeah.
This is purely story. I mean,
we still don't know why, at least I don't, or maybe I missed it, why Gargano attacked Black from behind in the first place.
Well,
he never did really give an explanation, kind of like what someone else did on the main card as to why they jumped their tag team partner.
Well, the story is kind of vague, but that aside, the story is kind of vague where he said that, the bigger issue that he wants to stop Ciampa and Aleister Black is in his way. That's it. And he decides to, he decides to just clock him from behind.
Wow. Madeline's on a roll this morning, guys. Wee.
Good.
She said, let Black knock the life out of Gargano so we can move forward.
Actually,
Yeah.
Hold on. Gargano is a pimple to be popped. Wow. Tell us how you really feel, Madeline. Woof.
oof, that is one very hot take. But I agree. I agree. With Alan.
I agree. Yeah.
I do
I
too.
mean, my prediction is this: Black kicks Gargano's ass.
As it
No
should
amount,
be.
no amount of reasoning should make you say that you're in my way. So you're in my way of my actual target. So I have to kick your ass.
I want to see Aleister Black kick his head off.
Just
Yeah,
go to
me
the
too.
focus of your attention, Gargano. If Ciampa is your focus of obsession, go for it. Go for him, not to Black. I mean, we're going in the round.
Unless he felt Aleister Black was a obstacle that was hindering him.
It is. That's Gargano's actual reason. That's
boy.
that's what I said. It's too vague.
Yeah.
Black was always the way of Gargano's wish to be the savior of NXT, the good guy, basically the Johnny Wrestling of NXT, maybe. So, and at least Aleister Black is in the way. So, I have to take.
I'm going to say in a vacuum, this match is going to be amazing. Absolutely, there's no question. With the surrounding storyline, it's going to be pretty damn bad.
Yeah,
like with the storyline elements of it are not great.
All the vagueness and all the sleight of hands, the seats. It feels like you're watching a really poorly done magic show in a way. So
the storyline is absolutely is gone on way too long.
Yeah,
absolutely way too long.
It feels like you have a favorite TV show, but your favorite TV show has a lot of producers and a lot of writers meddling in it. Because then you have this kind of guy writing this kind of specific storyline, and then you have this other writer and producer and storyline director doing this kind of storyline. And then on the same note, you just have layers upon layers upon layers of different things that you're feeling. So, and like you said, this story has gone on for far too long. We need to have this wrapped up already.
Yeah,
because the whole focus is always going to be Gargano Ciampa.
Yeah, and that storyline is, as we said, played out to the most insane degree.
There's really no meat left on that bone. I mean,
no. This should have ended at Takeover in Mania, and Johnny should have been belted then. The fact that he hasn't gotten the belt in this whole time means that if they do decide to eventually put the belt on him, it's going to be the most hollow of moments. There's going to be nothing there's going to be no storyline reason for us to be happy about it at that point in time, because Johnny has been a loser this whole time, and why should we be happy when a loser finally
it'll be basically an afterthought. Oh yeah, we forgot about him. Let's put the belt on him. And how many times have we seen that?
Looking at you, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. Okay.
That was a mistake.
Other than the whole thing that Ciampa winning, anybody else thinks that maybe Velveteen Dream has a chance of winning? Or this is flat out impossible?
We're talking about Black and Gargano here, not Aleister, not
Let me bury myself over there. Let me just dig a grave over there. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
MDS distracted. It's fine.
I got misdirected. I'm going. In any case, correction. Other than the fact that we're seeing Black kicking Gargano's ass, anybody else see Gargano winning? Possibly.
No.
Nobody?
But the question I have is this, and again, Madeline's on a roll. She goes saying Candice might get involved and turn heel. But why would we gonna have to turn her heel? For what reason?
Because this company's dumb and like doing dumb things. And that's my thought that is horrifying to consider. That if we get another low blow finish, we've had like a zillion of them already.
Yes, why punch someone in the dick? Is that the only way you can win? Come on.
Yeah.
Please.
A win to add insult to injury in a way. So there is
Yeah.
that. But, yeah. In any case, okay.
Yeah.
Considering that everybody is in agreement that Black is gonna whoop Gargano's ass. So there's that. Let's move on to the last, but certainly not least, match on the card. You get NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler facing off against Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
There's no reason for this match to be happening.
Well, there was no reason for Shayna to have won the title again.
No, that's
exactly. I agree.
I want to say, granted they're doing old school type match with it. A 2 out of 3 falls. Those, back in the old days, back in the days when I was first watching wrestling and getting into wrestling, that's how all the championships were determined. Was in 2 out of 3 fall matches.
Back in the olden days of yore.
Ye olden days. Yes.
Days of yore. So, but yeah, I agree. I mean, it is how you settle rivalries with a 2 out of 3 decisive false count anywhere match.
Not a fall. It's not a false count anywhere match. 2 out of 3 falls is what I used to love is that you would hear, the following bout is scheduled is a 2 out of 3 falls match for the whatever title it is, scheduled for with a 90-minute time limit. Okay.
The time limit.
I loved, that's something you don't see anymore. You don't hear, you don't see that anymore. You don't have that anymore. You don't have time limits anymore. What happened to the Broadways? They're something gone. A Broadway match, an hour draw between 2 people will one a heel, one a face, and the heel makes it to the end and they draw. The people will be more excited for the next time they get together because our guy was just that close because you got 1, 2, and the bell rings. And it's like he was that close. He was that close to winning it. And that will draw more people to watch. Subtle things. But they don't do it now. When was the last Broadway you heard of in WWE? Anybody?
Can't
the last time, just off the top of my head, maybe that Shawn Michaels John Cena match from Raw.
I mean, they did have
back in 2007.
They tried to make the Charlotte Sasha Banks match like that, but it was not the Iron Woman match, but it was not very good.
Because nobody knows how to do it anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back to
not everybody could do like Ric Flair and go 60 to 90 minutes and make the babyface look like $1 million and have the babyface fall short.
Okay.
And still make the babyface look like $1 million in a loss.
Okay. So here's the bigger question. How long will this take?
Probably a good 30 to 40 minutes and it'll be done. If they give him that much time. You can't, but
I don't deny that they would. It'll be a travesty to not give both Sane and Baszler that much time to do this kind of match. Right? My opinion.
Yeah, no, it would be awful. But again, the problem is that this match shouldn't be happening in the grand scheme of things because Kairi never should have lost the title in the first place.
No.
When you get right down to it, I stand by what I said. Kairi is the better person to use to build the rest of the division, and you need to build the rest of the division. Unless
they're gonna move Shayna over to Io.
No. That's the problem. Again, Shayna can't be used to build the rest of the division, especially when she has 2 lackeys there helping her. She can't be used in that way. She's not an effective person to build up, to use to build up the rest of the women.
Well, that was the same, Chris. That was the same beef most people had with Asuka winning all the time. She destroyed the women's division. No, she didn't.
Well,
she still made everybody look good, even when they lost to her.
But that's the thing. Asuka, as a performer, is that much more capable of doing that. Shayna is not, especially when she has Marina and Jessamine with her too.
Right, I agree.
If you are running them as a brute squad, keeping the title on Shayna makes it that such the title is unattainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I'll tend to agree with that because as good as a performer she is, she's not the person you'd build a division around.
It would be like if they had put the belt on Nia Jax instead of Asuka and had Nia Jax be the one giving that big long run. Because, but that's Shayna is definitely a much better performer than Nia Jax, absolutely. But excuse me, in the long run, like you need to have a champion. If they're going to be a monster, you still need to have it look like they can be defeated in some way, shape, or form. And that's never been the case.
Yeah, basically, you need to build the monster up effectively, but in order to do that as well, in tandem, you need to build a person who looks legitimate enough to take down that kind of monster.
Mm-hmm.
You can't push the monster to be too indestructible or too undefeated.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and same goes for the face as well, because face champion, you build her up so much so that it becomes an unattainable quest for any kind of heel to take her down. That's another problem as well.
Cassie, hush.
Cassie,
it's not Cassie. She's sleeping and being a good girl.
Oh, okay. Who's that then making all that noise? Or is that someone else's dog?
Someone
else. Not mine.
Mine's upstairs in his bed sleep.
I don't have a dog.
So it must be Matt's making all that racket.
I'm not hearing my dog.
Weird.
Wait a minute, MDS, you got a dog, or do you have two, AA?
I just have the one.
Okay.
I mean, it might be my dog. He doesn't ever shut up. But...
So it was you.
Maybe.
maybe. We'll go ahead and say maybe.
Well, again,
it's definitely him now.
Yeah, okay.
It's Madeline again is right. Boy, she's on a roll this morning. She said it's why you talk about a champion being non-beatable. It's one of the main reasons why Braun didn't win the title. Who would be strong enough to take his ass down?
True. Other than Roman and Drew, there really isn't.
Other than Roman and Drew, there really is.
No, but I mean, all the same. I mean, that's the problem with why they had with Brock having held the title for as long as he's had it, because he's also looks unbeatable all the time. So
yeah, true.
So that's Vince having his never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave myself, Chris.
Priapism.
Behave. We can absolutely.
You know exactly what I'm thinking, though.
What I just said, priapism. Yep.
Well, I mean, again, like I said, it's not going to be. It's not going to be the one where we say that it's not going to be a bad match. It's a bad match because it's not.
No, this is going to be an excellent match. These two have put on 3 excellent matches against each other already. There's no reason to expect that this one wouldn't also be, or 4 excellent matches against each other. There's no reason to expect why this one wouldn't also be excellent.
No
reason.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is another story. This is another one where, maybe you have a story, but that's not much to go with because they only have history, which is pretty much just the reason why you want to toss 2 people to fight, because they have history together. So
yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
the history here is good.
But Steph is involved in this match.
Yeah,
that's the real problem here is that, like, when you get right down to it, this match will likely be decided by Marina and Jessamine getting involved.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened at the last match.
Yeah.
I hope.
and whether or not Io can overcome that. I'm hoping that she can.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hopefully. Here's my prediction then. Baszler winning, maybe even having interference from Jessamine Dukeman or Irina Shafir. Because as bad as I want to say that it's not going to happen without interference, as bad as I want to say that this is going to be a clean win for Baszler, I just can't. I just can't place. Now I can't place Shayna Baszler without Duke and Shafir because
and that's the problem.
I can't peel them off. It's like a plaster. I can't seem to remove.
Well, it's no different. It's no different than what they did when Adam Cole and Fish and O'Reilly debuted.
The only
they've been joined at the hip ever since.
The only problem is, in the case of those three guys, they introduced them as those three teams outright.
But no, they did. No, they did not. No, they did not. The Red Dragons showed up first before Adam Cole.
Yeah,
we're actually wrestling matches.
No. Well, yeah, I mean they showed up separately though. That's the thing.
They showed up separately and then were put together as a faction.
And then all in the same event, they were all put together. Yeah.
Yeah, all on the same event, all at the same day, all at the same time.
Well, here's the thing: was that Duke and Shafir's pay-per-view debut? If it was absolute shit.
That's their first time being involved with anything outside of just being supportive friends.
Yeah, in a supportive role. This is, even though I don't know whether I want to consider it as a debut. It's their first time in an active role, even as a supporter. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
like I said, it's going to be hard to see. To see Shayna Baszler without Duke and Shafir now, because it's going to be there and thereabouts, lingering behind my mind.
Yeah.
When I have to say that Shayna Baszler does not need Duke and Shafir, she doesn't.
No, she don't.
And again, this plays into the bigger issue of eventually now that they're all going to be together, eventually now we run into the whole issue of what do you do when you have to put the four horsewomen together? Because eventually you have to put them together.
Yeah, eventually, because that the back of their minds are going to think, okay, we're going to have these four horsewomen face off against our four horsewomen.
Yep.
And that's the whispering that they're going to be having in the back of their minds, because that's the idea. Initially, we thought that they already put that in the back burner with stories and rumors and whatnot coming forward. But now, if they're building it to that, then
But the thing about it is you build to it between now and next Survivor Series.
Well,
sooner.
They can't though, because that's the problem. I said this after Evolution. Now that you've put Shayna and Marina and Jessamine together as a unit, you've now reached the point where it basically becomes inescapable that people are going to be saying, okay, well, here comes the MMA horsewomen as a unit, and now they're running together. So how long is it going to be until they put Ronda with them? And then
unfortunately, that's not going to be much longer, and then it's going to destroy what goodwill they have with Ronda.
And but that again, that is the problem. Ronda is a face. The three of them are heels. It's much easier to turn Ronda heel than it is to turn them face. But they clearly don't want to do that because they want to be able to get as much mileage as they can out of Ronda as a face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the golden goose right now.
Uh-huh.
Ronda, since Roman Reigns left, and it's the first time I've said this, is Joe Anawati left. Roman Reigns. Ronda is now the goose that's laying the golden eggs because she's all they really got left.
She is the money right now.
She is the money. She is the money maker because they screwed up with Sasha. They screwed up with Bayley. They screwed up with Becky. Every other one that could have filled that void that Roman left, they screwed it all up. Yeah. The only one they got left is Ronda. And if they're not careful, they're going to screw it up too.
Yeah.
Anyway. But in any case, I mean, Baszler retaining the title somewhat.
It's plausible, but it shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Kyrie should win. Kyrie should get it.
But I have to see that Baszler retaining the title. It's somewhat disheartening to say in a way because most of us are Kairi Sane fans. Not much of
I
Shayna.
like them both. I like them both.
I like it.
I've always liked Shayna because she just seemed legit when she's in the ring. She's actually very good in the ring.
Yeah.
But she had a great teacher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's the case, that I always bring up. Shayna Baszler does not need anybody else backing her up because she's fine on her own. She's just fine on her own. So, in any case, bitter rivalries, 2 championships on the line, a gimmick match that only happens one a year, abundance of talents to go around. Well, this event is probably something you don't really want to miss. If you haven't really catched last year's War Games, you can catch this one's War Games to get a kind of like a personal view, up close and personal view about it. You won't miss anything. You won't miss much in terms of storyline telling because this is mostly just a gimmick match shoehorned in with a couple of other storyline matches that you need. So you can catch it all at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time with the main card starting about 7 p.m. I do believe so. There's that. Of course. Again, I can't really watch this.
Yeah,
I'm still putting myself in a self-imposed unsubscribe section. So.
MDS, we have got to have Madeline on sometime soon.
Sometime soon,
because she is throwing some takes out there that are rather good. She was doing it to Chris's show on Thursday night too. She's one of those. She says something, you take notice.
Yeah.
She's talking about Kyrie. If Kyrie loses tonight, it would be best for her to go up to the main, the main roster. But where would she fit right now? Well, that is the question. She don't fit on the main roster right now.
Yeah, not at all. No. But Shayna would fit a lot easier because you can just put her with the horsewoman.
Yeah. So it's there are still so many. I'd like to see Shayna Io. That would be a great match between the two of them. That would be good.
They had an awesome match with each other in Stardom. Yep. I could very easily see them having a great match with each other on WWE roster.
Yep, they do.
But they'll force them to tone it down. Of course,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the main dish. The WWE Survivor.
Do we have to?
It's spoiled. I want to return it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because you have one huge bad news that maybe Matt will scream out.
Oh no! This whole thing is bad. This whole thing is bad.
Wait a minute. You were gushing over the cruiserweight.
Okay. Not the
cruiserweight title. The cruiserweight title match. You forgot about that one, didn't you, bud?
Okay. One course of this 7-course meal is good.
8. 7 course on the main roster. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then if you want to touch on that earlier on, but in any case, I have to go run down the card. So there's that. Singles match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair with with champion versus champion, of course. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, again, champion versus champion match. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, champion versus champion match as well. And you have your 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. There are 2. You have Team Raw. You have both women's and men's on Team Raw. Start with women. With Team Raw, we have Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, and Natalya, and Ruby Riott versus Team SmackDown, Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and who actually replaced Becky Lynch?
TBD. It's who replaces Charlotte.
Oh yeah,
who replaces Charlotte because Charlotte replaced Becky.
Okay. So still,
and you forgot 2 names: Alexa Bliss, and 3 names. Alexa, because the Team Raw has got 3 extra bodies out there: Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
Yeah. Okay. Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
Which we know they're going to interfere, of course.
Yeah. Alexa, I don't know necessarily.
I'll just shout out who's the contestants for the whole Survivor Series, rather than the intermittent sidekicks that are sitting beside on the sidelines. So there's that. On the men's side, you have Team Raw, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley versus Team SmackDown, The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe. Champion versus champion, we have Authors of Pain versus The Bar. Singles match for the Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. And then you have a pre-show 10-on-10 Survivor Series tag team elimination match. Team Raw, we have Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, The Revival, The B Team, Lucha House Party, and The Ascension versus Team SmackDown featuring The Usos, The New Day, Sanity, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, and The Colons. The Colons.
Oh, Colognes, not the colons.
Oh wow, that was bad.
That was really bad.
The Colons. The Colons. I know my English. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but in any case, those are the. I think I got every single match other than the okay, with the pre-show. Okay, there you go. So I got everything. So, I feel that this whole thing is a bit rushed still. Even coming,
a lot of them are. A lot of the matches
24
are.
hours, less than 24. I think 24 hours still. 24 hours before the show starts. It still feels a little bit too rushed for me. This is what happens when you focus too much on both Blood Money and Evolution. One, which is okay to focus.
Oh, they didn't focus too much on Evolution. They gave no focus on Evolution. It was all Blood Money.
Yeah,
Let's call it what it is. There was no focus on Evolution.
All Blood Money. But
And yet, in my opinion, Chris, Evolution completely outshined Blood Money by a country mile.
Yes, it absolutely did. Evolution is one of the best shows that WWE's put on in a decade.
Yep.
I mean, okay, I have a lot of points to feel. I mean, one, when did WWE decide to turn Daniel Bryan heel?
This was
When?
Just the final time with them spitting in the face of the fans.
It basically worked out to this, and I've been waiting to say this all week.
Okay.
Vince was in his office, farted, and it smelled like, oh, Daniel Bryan turned heel now. So, or that damn sneeze that he hates not being able to control convinced him to turn Daniel Bryan heel.
Thank you for the graphic image of Vince McMahon sitting in his office, farting, and then smelling farting.
You know what? Honestly, I'm probably going to be one of the few people that will say this.
Okay,
I'm so glad Brian's heel. I am so glad he's a heel.
But why?
Because he sucked as a face.
Okay.
No. Let's be real here. He sucked as a face because they decided to write him sucky as a face. They could have very easily.
Time out, Chris. Stop right there for a second. Okay.
Okay.
Is that not what they did to Becky Lynch?
For a year.
Yes.
But
and they turn her face and they turn her heel, and what happens?
Yeah, well, the
crowd doesn't accept it.
Let's be honest about this. At the beginning, the crowd didn't want her to turn heel, but then she just owned the role. And that's the thing. Daniel Bryan, as a heel, he can own the role, but only to a limited degree because the crowd already has the preconceived ideas of what he was like as a heel back from 2012, and then what he was like as a babyface when he was the representative of them as the People's Champion in 2014. And they know which one they prefer. The crowd never had a taste of Becky as a heel for the most part because a lot of them never saw the brief heel run she had in NXT. So this was their first taste of it, and because she owned the role as effectively as she did, they loved it. Whereas we've had a taste of what it was like for Bryan with both. We know what the preference is, so people are going to naturally gravitate towards wanting what they already know they like. And it's pretty well established at this point that this new run of Daniel Bryan, that since he came back from being cleared by medical, that they don't give a shit about what they do with him or making him look good, and the crowd is very aware of that. So they're just going to be shitting on him turning heel because they're just going to see it for what it is, which is them spitting in the crowd's face once again.
Uh-huh.
The only people who are going to be behind it are the Daniel Bryan Uber marks out there. And let's be honest, who really, how valuable necessarily is their opinion in the grand scheme of things of giving an accurate representation of what's going on?
Uh-huh.
They're
I mean,
not.
one point I can agree with Matt is that one of the good things about turning Daniel Bryan heel is that he can lose to Brock Lesnar and doesn't really matter as much.
Well, here's the problem.
He was going to lose to Brock Lesnar
He's
no
going to
matter what.
he's going to lose to Brock Lesnar no matter what. Like I said on Thursday night in the chat, here we have a gentleman who's got a fragile ass brain in the first place. Okay, the next concussion could be his last, where he doesn't live, he doesn't survive, he has a seizure and dies. And they put him in the ring with a guy who could give him said concussion in several different ways. Not limited to, but including cracking his skull wide open hard way, like he did with Roman.
That's one.
Yeah.
And among others.
Among others. Too many F5s like he did to Undertaker.
And then therein lies the point. And then there's another point. You don't really turn Daniel Bryan heel and have him lose in the first run as a heel champion. Why not? If they were going to do that anyways, why not wait until next week to officially turn Daniel Bryan? Because it's just weird. It's just freaking weird. I mean,
the first mistake was expecting the company to do something that would make sense.
Yeah, Madeline again knocks it out of the park.
True.
She goes, I'm selecting musical selections for Brian's funeral. Any suggestions?
I do. I do. I have a music in my phone that I can actually place for Daniel Bryan's funeral.
Yeah, I have a few in mind. Yeah.
Oh man!
I can't believe I had and last but not least, I can't believe I have to watch another Brock Lesnar match.
I can't believe
we were done with him.
I can't believe we have to endure another Brock Lesnar title run.
Yeah,
please. I mean, come on, I about vomited when that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Daniel Bryan, but I can't see him winning this.
There's no way he wins. No chance in hell.
If he wins, I'm going to be surprised.
No chance. No chance in hell.
Okay, Vince.
That's why I say that, because there's anybody who asked for this Daniel Bryan Brock Lesnar match, because as you pointed out, Taker, the Daniel Bryan Uber marks have been clamoring for it for a while. Tanya mentioned it on Twitter. A lot of people have been mentioning that point, and it's a worthwhile point. Daniel Bryan fans have been asking for this match for a long time, and anybody who thought that there was a chance in hell that Daniel Bryan would come out of this match looking good or looking like he had even the slightest glimmer of hope to win was fooling themselves.
Yeah, I have said this since the beginning of Daniel Bryan's return, and I have stood up to the Uber marks, the Uber Daniel Bryan marks, and said Daniel Bryan does not need to be anywhere near the title. Period.
Exactly.
He is not healthy enough to be a champion. And what do? The Uber marks whine and cry and carry on and bitch and moan and complain, and finally they're given what they want, because we know what's going to happen. Brock Lesnar's going to concuss that boy tomorrow.
At the bare minimum.
He's going to be concussed.
At the bare minimum.
And Daniel Bryan will be done in the ring because of it.
Yep.
Remember last week when I said Kurt Angle does not really need to be in the ring anymore? Please stop. Kurt Angle, don't go back in the ring again.
Same thing for Daniel Bryan, I assume.
Same thing applies. Just same thing applies. I don't want to go on a short burst rant about how I appreciate what he had done for the last couple of years in my own wrestling history, in my own wrestling books, giving me the perfect wrestling moment in WrestleMania. Even though it's not live, but still, it's one of the greatest WrestleMania moments that WWE has produced with the guy. But please, no, just no. I don't want my memory to be sullied. I don't want my good memory of it to be sullied by he got injured in the ring, and he got injured bad in the ring, or something like that.
Yeah, that is the problem when you come right down to it. These people don't know when to quit. and it's gonna end up killing him.
Like I said, same thing applies with your kind of argument to Kurt Angle. Please stop wrestling.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing when Kurt Angle made his comeback to the ring. One bad fall on his neck and he's paralyzed forever.
Yeah.
And I don't like pulling this card, but the man has a wife and a child at home. Okay? You have a greater responsibility than to just, want to live your freaking fever dream fantasy of glory some more.
Yeah, and not only that, like, the dude is a Grand Slam champion. He's won every title that there is to win. Not only that, but he is one of two people to open WrestleMania and main event WrestleMania. Only other guy to ever do that was Bret Hart. He's in the class of his own here. There is no reason for him to be back here. There's no reason for him to be wrestling here.
Can you actually imagine if Bret Hart took the same direction as Daniel Bryan and actually wrestled in this kind of situation right now? You're gonna be pissed.
No, here's the thing. The difference with the difference. There's a big difference between Bret Hart and Daniel Bryan right now. Okay, Bret Hart was concussed by Bill Goldberg, got out of the business, and was done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Bret Hart has since had a stroke. Yes, he was in a match with Vince, but his entire family was at ringside after the fact.
And he barely did anything in the match. Anyway.
That's right. He basically sat in a chair for the most of it. Let his family kick the shit out of Vince. So, Daniel Bryan is looking at becoming a freaking vegetable tomorrow.
Let's hope not.
I know.
Yeah, obviously, none of us want that to happen.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen at all. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
It's a very strong possibility because Brock has shown that he will only work smartly and safely, if that, with people he respects. And I have very little hope in him having that level of respect for Daniel Bryan.
I do too.
So
I think Vince is going to turn the evil monster loose on him.
I wouldn't doubt it.
To put him out.
I wouldn't.
I'll show the Uber marks who the fuck the boss is.
Okay.
It's
That's disgusting. It's despicable.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
It's the absolute truth. But would anybody on this panel put that past Vince? Nope. I wouldn't.
Not at all. Because he's a piece of shit human being. Drop the safe.
Morning, Biff.
We're still.
How are y'all?
Biff.
I hear you finally. You finally made it. Your alarm kicked your ass, eh?
I was originally just going to stay up all night and just join to make sure that I got in, and I made it till about 8:45. Fell asleep. Set my alarm for 9:30. It just had to go off at 11:30 because apparently everyone in my household hates me this week. So,
well, we appreciate you being here.
Yes.
As what people would say, it's better you coming in late than better not coming in at all.
Yeah, fashionably late here, an hour and a half. And of course, internet wouldn't kick on right away because, I pissed off God this week, and now God's cutting me down. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least you didn't wake up to snow on the ground, Biff.
No,
I did this morning.
No, I would have literally cried. I would have. It would have been crying Biff today. So
crying Biff.
You're getting fashionably late Biff, not weepy Biff.
So yeah, okay, fashionably late Biff rather than wimpy Biff. Okay.
Well, one good thing came out of today, though.
What?
There's a non-profit organization for like a community center across the street from our house, from where I'm living, and it's still close to where I'm going to be moving to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm donating shovel time and snow thrower time and salt to take care of their sidewalks in front of their place. So
that's good. Good.
Yep, I'm even doing my part there, Chris.
Thank you for that.
I can't do anything, for warm. I guess it's warm.org, right?
No, but all the same, the support is what matters.
Right.
So
Okay. Next up, as I quickly move along, I have Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. One point that I would like to bring. Do I have the feeling that Dean Ambrose interfering in this match?
I wouldn't doubt it, and then it ends with a series of dick kicks to Seth Rollins.
And a series of yay from someone I know. Just
AA, are you going to stay quiet now or what?
just an evil cackle of laughter coming out from way over there. Just yay.
She wants. I'm sure she wants Dean Ambrose to
Interfere.
completely pay back to Seth Rollins for what he did. Well, how long ago was that now? What, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
But it can't be denied that. Well, here's one plus point. I don't know whether it's a plus point for you guys. Rollins and Ambrose are far away the most compelling program on Raw in months, but they won't likely be wrestling against one another until TLC on December at the earliest. So, in the meantime, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, by all accounts, Rollins Ambrose should be taking place in Survivor Series instead of Rollins Nakamura. But of course, because it's a Survivor Series, we got to do bragging rights.
Well, let's be fair here. I'm willing to bet that we wouldn't have had the
Champion.
match I'm willing to bet that we wouldn't have had this sort of a match with this kind of aura surrounding it, if not for Roman Reigns' sickness. Because I don't think that they wanted to break the Shield up. I don't think that they wanted to have that be the way that they went with that. I mean, if they did, great, but I'm thinking that at that point it would have been Roman versus Dean, not Seth versus Dean.
I don't think it would have been rushed as quickly as it was. I think they would have held
too.
I think it was on. They had it simmering, and it was going to happen later. Probably going into Rumble.
Yeah,
but,
it was supposed to be a slow burn, I think.
The illness to Joe is what I think changed everything, and I tend to agree with that, Chris. I mean, so many things got screwed up with that announcement.
I mean, in this case, I think we will say that it will easily say that sometimes shit happens. Real life happens. It throws something in our. It throws a spanner in the works that we call a plan for the whole year. So you have to adjust. This is one way they adjust it. But like Matt said, we could have had a Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in Survivor Series, but no, considering that Survivor Series where we have bragging rights from cross-promotional brands and whatnot, even though they're under the same company, we have to have Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Can I point something out right quick?
Sure.
What other company could take a Seth Rollins Shinsuke Nakamura match and actually make it less than the desirable outcome? I mean, Doc Senju literally just said it should be Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and it occurred to me that we are legitimately talking about a company that should have done something other than Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That match is a dream match on paper. And yet somehow this company has managed to turn what should be a dream match on paper into a complete non-factor. It's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, here's the thing though, Biff. Here's the biggest point I wanted to point out. You set both Rollins and Nakamura for Survivor Series for weeks, yet what was the main topic of conversation? Rollins and Ambrose.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. I agree with you. I'm pointing out the fact that we are sitting here, it represents like a systemic failure on WWE's part on every single level. Like, we should all, as fans, be clamoring for this match. But
I'm gonna be the one to come right out and say that not an insignificant part of this is the fault of Shinsuke Nakamura for having phoned it in for the past year while he has been on the main roster, and that is what it is. Like my partner and I always say, not going to tell anybody to not do what they need to do to make their money. And Nakamura is definitely getting paid. So, but the fact that he's been phoning it in for the past year and basically has not done anything that has been compelling or noteworthy this whole time is
because he's not been really given anything either, Chris. Let's be real here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he has not.
So
he has
you
not
can't.
been
It's
giving
not all.
anything.
It's not all on. It's not all on him.
No, of course not. But
why should he? Why should he care about a match if the company doesn't seem to fucking care?
Well, let's be real here, though.
Okay.
Nakamura was the holder of the IC title in New Japan for a long, long time. And while he held the belt, he took the belt that was supposed to be the secondary title in New Japan and made it equal to and at times greater than the heavyweight title. Because he put in the effort and made the matches great and did what he had to do to make them awesome. And that's not something that everybody can do.
Okay, I agree with that.
So if he is capable of doing that, then why is he not capable of putting in the effort and putting in the time to make it work here in WWE?
Maybe he wants to. But creative and everybody involved with it, i.e. Vince, the ultimate decision maker, the decider. Vince says no.
Well,
can't have that. Can't have a Japanese wrestler being the man. We got to knock him down.
I think there's two competing trains of thought here, and then there's one knock on Nakamura. It's like 33% Nakamura's fault, 66% company's fault.
Right.
But it's like Nakamura suffered creatively from bad creative decisions this year early, and it really knocked the wind out of his sails. But I think we also have to consider the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura is not a young man. He has a lot of years on him, wear and tear from MMA, from wrestling. He was wrestling at a high level in Japan for a long, long time before he came over. I mean, he's what,
38.
38? Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, it's not like not everyone can be an AJ Styles. Some people, the tread on the tires comes off a lot sooner. So,
well, you think about it though, there, Biff, what you're saying is true. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura is 38. And he's also been he was in the strong style over in Japan. Plus he was doing MMA. That will take years off your wrestling life.
Yeah.
Whereas AJ Styles has not done anything MMA related and really didn't wrestle strong style over there. He could, and he
high flying,
yeah. So he was more along the lines of, get along, put out the good quality match. Where in Japan, especially Japanese wrestlers, they're looked at as we want strong style by the fan. The fan, the strong style is what the fans look for. We discussed this. We discussed this on the sumo stuff too. The wrestlers gets concussed. Like we've had that happen recently, where no one came out to help him to the back. Why? It's a macho thing. It's a pride thing. It's a honor thing. But what about their health? That's the problem. The fans could give two shits about the health of the wrestler. They just want what they want.
Yeah, I mean, if you chart Shinsuke Nakamura's WWE career from NXT onward, there's been a definite downward trajectory in the overall quality. When he first popped in 2015 or 2016, his first matches, whether it be with Austin Aries, Sami Zayn, I mean, he really peaked with his debut match. I think that was probably his best match in NXT, and I don't think he's replicated his NXT success on the main roster yet.
Yeah, because they're not allowed. He's not allowed to do a lot of the things he did.
Well, yeah,
they have watered him down. They have watered him down, and remember, Biff and everybody, Nakamura lost a feud to frickin' Jinder Mahal.
That didn't help.
No, that basically killed him.
That didn't help at all. Okay.
Jinder Mahal cutting his racist freaking promos, and the racist won yet again.
Yeah, that didn't help.
I don't know. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. You are talking about the IWGP Intercontinental title, right?
That's what he's talking about. He stepped away.
Yeah, okay. He did talk about. Let me sum it up for a lot of them. He has been holding that title, and he has had the longest reigning title at 901 days for that. He actually did make a lot of headways with that one. But going back to the whole topic at end, although everyone will be waiting for the Lunatic Fringe to show up, of course, Ambrose Alley will be the number one person who's going to wait very, very patiently, or very, very impatiently for that matter.
Try impatiently.
Okay, impatiently then, for that matter. Biff has already told us, spoken about it. Rollins and Nakamura should be given an ample amount of time before then to contest the barn burner bout they're capable of on paper.
Yeah,
But they're going to be hamstrung.
yeah. In execution, it's going to be
It's going to be a little bit
less than stellar.
Yeah. It's weird, less than stellar. I mean, it's going to be. This could have done better. This could have worked a little bit more better, or something like that.
And again, I am not at all. I will not be at all surprised if this does not end in a series of dick kicks to Seth Rollins. We're sorry for any possibility that you may have had of having children, Seth.
Nutshot, Dick Kick City. Yeah.
Yeah, Nutshot Central. Yeah.
The King of Dong style will arrive.
No, Joey Ryan is not going to be at a WWE event. Come on, Biff.
No.
I'm taking
out with injury, correct? He's still out with an injury, right? With Joey Janela? I
think so, yeah.
When Joey Janela is out with injury, right?
Yeah. They just put out a T-shirt of the two of them in hospital beds.
I wanted it, but I should go there.
Joey Ryan makes my skin crawl.
Okay. I mean, okay. This is gonna probably be not a surprise to all you guys, but here's my pick: Shinsuke Nakamura winning the title, winning the whole bout.
Yeah, he's gonna win the match. Yeah, because WWE likes to make their baby faces look stupid. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the lie.
No, I don't disagree with you. It's just
this is the reality we live in.
Yeah, what Doc said. It's a sign of the times that I mean, compare NXT to WWE, and it's just I don't know. It's
a disaster.
It's a different world.
Different world indeed. I mean, okay. Other than the rest of you people, take her. Do you see Nakamura winning, or do you see Rollins winning? Wait, Taker's out, correct?
Yeah, I think Nakamura.
Taker's out. He's needing coffee. I am so sorry. AA, of course, I know your answer.
But you do.
Yeah, I do, but I should ask you.
Of course, I'm going to stick with Seth Rollins, win or lose.
Oh, really? Okay. Win or lose, Seth Rollins
is going to Shield.
Mm-hmm. He is Shield. Okay, I know that answer. Although, do you see Dean Ambrose coming in, doing interference?
I see him doing something. I don't think it's going to be a out interference, like he's going to get involved in the match, but he's going to do enough to distract Seth Rollins to where Seth Rollins is going to get stupid and Nakamura is going to take advantage.
Okay. It's 1 point against the whole babyface looks stupid. I babyface, I stupid. So
yeah. I'm the good guy, and I'm going to act like an idiot today for your.
Is that not the new norm for WWE?
It absolutely is.
I am the good guy, and I am going to. And for the next 3 hours, I'm going to act like I am a stupid idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Chris Jericho's public timeline. Anyway, Metal Matt, what do you think? Do you think Rollins wins, or do you think Nakamura wins?
I think Nakamura wins via Ambrose interference.
Okay, that's pretty much in and all of itself a regularity now.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay, so you also agree that Nakamura wins, Taker?
Yep.
With Dean Ambrose coming in,
they've got to do something to rebuild Nakamura. I mean, how much further down can they tear him?
Good question.
I don't.
I mean,
know.
they've already completely demoed the inside of the house to the studs. What are they going to do? Start tearing down the outside walls to the studs too?
Melt
Oh.
the foundation.
Oh, it could always be worse. He could be the next Titus O'Neil. So
Yeah.
Oh God, please no.
That's true. That's true. That's why I'm. That's why I'm.
it could always be worse. So
No, it would be worse. So
I mean,
go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I mean, if you're going to win, make it a win.
Yeah, make it a win and make it a clean win. You know.
Okay. Fair enough. Then, okay, what else do I have? Oh, okay. The Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair singles match now.
Poor Matt.
Poor Matt.
Yes, the battle of the two women who desperately need to turn heel at ASAP.
Your girl is the heel here, okay?
No,
Remember
she
that.
is the face. She is the champ. He is the man.
It is no different. It is no different. Because remember when I brought this up early on? You've just painted yourself into a corner.
What?
Oh no.
Daniel Bryan is the heel in the Brock Lesnar one.
As he should be.
Why? Becky would be the heel against Ronda Rousey. We know this. Ronda is not turning heel anytime soon.
I mean, she would be, but
and Becky is owning the fact that her character is supposed to be heel by her actions.
she's also owning Ronda Rousey on Twitter. So
yeah. So let's not look at this realistically. I know you don't want it. I know you refuse to see it. She will always be a face in your eyes, and that's fine. However, her character has been turned, and that is the end of it. She owns it, a la Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
and is running with it.
Well, I'm going to be honest here. I'm gonna echo what I said before. This is a shades of gray character. Whether you wanna call it face or heel, I understand that there is definitely some heel dynamics here, but Becky is declaring herself as being against the grain, against the machine, and fighting for her own beliefs. And to that end, there's some people who may recall a man by the name of Steve Austin, for whom that worked quite well in the late 90s and early 2000s. And that kind of character is someone that people can get behind. And when you cut right down to it, whether the morality of someone as a face or heel is in the end a very different thing than what actually defines a face or a heel. The person who is the face is the person that the crowd gets behind and who the crowd can relate to. The person who is the heel is the person that the crowd can't relate to and who the crowd doesn't want to be, associated with. So Becky is in many ways owning a character that the rest of the crowd can get behind and that the rest of the crowd can believe in and be, relating to in a way. So I firmly believe this is being a tweener character more than a heel, and I will stick with that for as long as she sticks with this gimmick, because what she's saying about Ronda, it's being said in a derogatory tone, but by the same token, it's with somebody who is getting this level of corporate support and corporate clout, it's natural to want to be speaking towards them in a downward fashion. So I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, and think about it. You bring up a very good point. Imagine this for 1 minute. We had social media like we have it today back when Stone Cold Steve Austin was acting like he was. How much more realistic would it have been? I just hear, having him go off on Vince on every day on social media, or whoever he's going off on social media every single day, because we know it would have been done.
Absolutely.
And how much more golden that character would be today. We're getting it with Becky Lynch now.
Yeah. And
Stone Cold Steve Austin will tell you his character was heel from the day it was created.
Uh-huh.
It's not his fault that the fans loved it so much because he decided to go after Vince.
Uh-huh.
There's some. I think this can be said here. I think everyone would agree, and it's become more apparent as the week has gone on. And I think there's a good way to kind of encapsulate it. And everybody knows I'm a big Charlotte Flair fan. Not only just because of the hometown homerism, but I've always appreciated her agility, what she's brought to the ring. But Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, their match, people were kind of looking at this as a potential WrestleMania main event. And it's not that it wouldn't have been an interesting main event. It would have been historic. But there was something artificial about it. There was something manufactured. And that's not a knock on Ronda Rousey, and it's not a knock on Charlotte Flair. It's just that they are trying to manufacture a match between the two, or that was the impression that a lot of people had. That was supposed to be bigger than it actually was. But in Becky Lynch, for the first time in the history of the company, and I think this is important, you have a star that is transcending the traditional gender roles in the company. Like, she's not just the biggest women's star on the roster right now. Becky Lynch is becoming one of the biggest stars, period. And the rumors of a Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey main event at WrestleMania
are already started.
And it has completely dominated the news cycle. Think about this, guys. The day after, we had a WWE Championship swap with Daniel Bryan, of all people, winning the title. That was not the main headline that day.
Nope.
That was not Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship after coming back from retirement from the concussion issue. That should have blown up every news site there was. And it was barely a blip because Becky Lynch has completely exploded in the last 7 days. We are on the precipice of not just something, special. This is historic. This is the actual women's evolution, the women's revolution in real life now. This is not just a company catchphrase. It's not a buzzword. You are literally seeing the evolution of a female superstar to a level that we have never seen before. Because Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, that match is a match that 2 or 3 months ago, you would have never really thought about. Unless you were just a super hardcore Becky fan. Now, like Matt. 2 months ago, you would have been the lone voice in the desert crying for this match. Now, not only is this match, very possible, this is the match that people are talking about. This is what they want. This is an actual WrestleMania main event match. And it came about in the span of 7 days. That's lightning in a bottle. That's unprecedented for a female superstar. And I think that is worth talking about today.
Good brother George also brings up a good point in the chat. The fact that, in the end, it's, somebody has to lose the match tomorrow. And, in all likelihood, it would have been Becky. Having Becky lose the match, even though she has very clearly and decisively won the entire feud through Twitter and social media, having her lose the match is, would not be necessarily the best optics. And, it's entirely likely that WWE was planning to use her losing the match to Ronda as a springboard for her eventually losing the title, because, we know who WWE definitely has preference for, even with Becky, owning this character and being the clear fan favorite at this point. But having her not be in the match may be a blessing in disguise, because now you can set that match up effectively for Mania, keep the two of them apart for the time being until presumably the Rumble, have them have a little bit of interaction in the Rumble, and then have the final showdown actually be at Mania. And then you can, do something good with it. I mean, whether they will do something good with it is entirely up in the air because we all know how this company operates. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, if I were to bring up one final point, because all of you guys are already saying a lot of very valid points, the only thing I can add is this a time where it's appropriate to get the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen involved on either side? Is this the time?
I would say, honestly, for the sake of what you have going in NXT right now, and for the sake of what you have in Ronda versus Becky as like this organic movement, I say hold off on the horsewomen until after WrestleMania next year. Let that be a gimmick you use building up
Survivor Series
to SummerSlam or Survivor Series, exactly.
And then to break off on the whole Survivor Series talk. I mean, have you guys even watched the Becky Lynch fighting Ash was not cleared for WWE Survivor Series video?
Yeah, I did watch that. That was a great video.
It was a great video, and I mean, the moment dropped was when she actually did find out she's not cleared, and she's just it's like the whole life got drained out from her face. Just
think about it, MDS. Think about it. The last time she was SmackDown Women's Champion, she was ill. She got sick and got injured. She's SmackDown Women's Champion. What happened? She's injured again.
Although this time it's not. It's something that could have been prevented.
Yeah,
very easily.
Yeah. She got potatoed. Is what happened. And yes, George, you're right. It is a bit of a blessing in disguise.
She's still champ.
You can't have either one of them losing right now to either one of them. We were all speculating that the Becky Ronda match was going to end in a schmoz, no decision because of outside interference, because neither one of them could afford to lose right now. Right or wrong?
Now at least you can have a finish.
Yeah, you can have a finish. I mean, okay. Here's the biggest question then. The final question on the nail. Who's winning? Rousey?
Ronda. Yeah.
Ronda.
Far and away, Ronda.
Okay.
If Charlotte Flair wins this match, Vince McMahon should be sued for creative malpractice. There's no other way around that. I mean, you talk about the absolute shittiest decision possible. It would just completely destroy.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's look at it this way, Biff. And I think you weren't here when I said this. It would be if Charlotte were to win over Ronda, would be about as bad a decision as Jinder frickin' Mahal defeating Shinsuke Nakamura after the racist promos he was cutting.
Oh yeah, I mean
the racist one again.
Yeah, and not that Charlotte Flair's. Yeah, I mean she's.
I'm not saying she is, but you get what the parallel I'm drawing. It would be just as bad as Jinder fucking Mahal.
Yeah,
that would be a Jinder fucking Mahal type decision.
Yeah, because what it would do essentially is it would diffuse Ronda Rousey and completely neuter one half of the match that people want to see at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Like, you need Ronda and Becky to be at peak strength. Like neither Becky nor Ronda should lose another match until WrestleMania at this point, if this is where they're going. Now Becky's going to have to be stripped of the title, which I think could work well in her favor if it's kind
of
Boo.
No. You can't do title versus title at WrestleMania unless you're merging them.
And we don't want that.
You can't. Yeah, you can't main event WrestleMania with like a non-title match.
So you have Becky lose and go to Raw.
I mean, they main evented WrestleMania with a non-title match when Roman versus Undertaker happened.
I would have.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
But that one has more mystique because you have the Undertaker. That's the
you can't. Neither one of them had a title going into it. I'm saying you can't have a non-title match be the main event. If there's a title there, a title needs to be involved because the title adds to it. You know,
I could correct. Sorry to cut you off there. I could correct you and say that they could, but not necessarily in the fact that they have to or they need to. They can go on a one-on-one in WrestleMania without any titles. That's a possibility. But yeah, like you said, the title adds credence. The title adds precedence, I guess.
Well, you either take the title off of both of them, which now you're really going to be putting yourself behind the 8 ball, because how do you get a title off both of them? If you have both of them taking championships into the match, that's one less championship match for the rest of the women's division. Because you can easily make another marquee match out of Charlotte and Asuka trying to get her win back from last year, because you could tell the story that Asuka, if she goes heel in the next...
I don't care enough about Asuka to do that, though.
Well, I mean, Asuka's been dead in the water since WrestleMania.
Yeah. And
you could heat her up in a very easy way, and pinpoint that match with Charlotte as the downfall of Asuka. And now Asuka is coming for revenge, which that's a story that can be told. But my point is, if Ronda and Becky is your main event, it's going to be for a championship. You're not going to do a non-title match. I mean, the championship is going to be the marquee factor in proving who is the best. And you can get there without having Becky lose. The injury to Becky could keep her out until the Rumble, and that could feed into the company is against her. Like they march her out there and they force her to relinquish the title. Becky's like, no, I want to fight. Let me fight someone. They won't let her fight. They make her give up the title and have Becky do something. I don't know if she does a spot with Paige where she gets hauled off in handcuffs or whatever, but she gets this huge reaction from the fans because she wants to be a fighting champion. Have her come out at the Rumble, win the Rumble, and then she goes over to Raw and challenge Ronda Rousey and set up the match that she was deprived of at Survivor Series. That's how you do it. I mean, they
won't have her do that against Paige, because Paige is far too well liked, especially in the thing about. But I understand the principle you're going for, though.
Yeah, you have her basically. She's we know Paige is hands off. You can't touch Paige.
No,
but you can do it as Shane. Maybe if Shane's going heel, that would work. But you gotta be careful with that because of the whole. You don't want.
You want basically what they could do is this, Biff, and the way to heat up Becky as a heel really well going into that thing, like you said, and have her hauled off in handcuffs, is that both Shane and Paige are in the office in the back talking about stuff. Becky comes in, what's this? You're going to strip me of my title? Again, it's happening. This, that, and the other. And she basically just starts destroying the office that they're in. Okay. And they have to call in security and the police to remove her from the building because of the damage she's causing. I.e., similar to the Raw thing, where she invaded Raw with the women. Have her do the same thing in the back, just tearing shit up because, once again, she feels that she's being victimized by management. Because, there are others here that are more, they have the bigger connection or the bigger name.
Yeah, there's a million different ways you could do it.
And have her win the Rumble and move herself over to Raw to get the match with Ronda for her title.
Yeah, there's a million ways you can do it. The important thing is you get the title off of Becky and you do it in a way that builds up fan support for her. Like, make it clear and unequivocal. Like, you don't want a repeat of this past week where Becky is on the verge of tears and she hugs Charlotte and it's just
that was bad.
It was real. That was legit. That was legit because you could actually see Becky was upset. Becky in the ring doing that. That is something she didn't want to do. That I saw. She did not want to do that. That's why and that's why she kind of blew off Naomi. She blew off everybody, basically, except for Charlotte. Why? Charlotte, even though they're playing enemies right now, they're still they're two of their best friends.
Yeah, I think that moment was unscripted.
Yeah,
was
and I don't think Becky meant any disrespect to Naomi or to anybody else for that matter.
She took the best person for the job.
It's just as something has been taken away from her that she wanted and was probably looking forward to, all because she got potatoed by someone, whether it be on purpose, accidentally on purpose. Regardless.
I will point out here, and this does need to be said. You guys heard how much the crowd went crazy when she stood in front of Asuka, and then all the air just went out of the room, and everybody just lost all their energy when she picked Charlotte instead. You could tell that people were not in for that.
Right.
Yeah, Becky made the wrong decision. It should have been the Iconics. I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh my God! Shut up! Even I'll say that.
And I'll tell you right now, Matt. I'll tell you right now. There would have been a double arm bar on both of the freaking Icons.
For someone that loves the Iconics so much, you sure are eager to see them get stretched. I'm just saying.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
I mean, okay, but with that conversation, herein lies one good question that I have. What if actually Charlotte Flair wins?
It's not happening. It
Why?
absolutely is not.
Because
Charlotte does not need to rub. If Charlotte wins this match, it will solidify the argument that Becky has had from the get-go.
I mean, she's always been right anyway.
Charlotte has always been the one to get the marquee victories.
Yeah, but here's the case.
Asuka.
Ronda Rousey in the loss here doesn't really solidify anything.
Oh, but it'll hurt her character right now.
Mm-hmm.
If Ronda Rousey takes the loss in this match, you have done irreparable harm to any Ronda Rousey main event at WrestleMania. Because Ronda Rousey main eventing WrestleMania is predicated on the idea that she is the absolute best of the best. And it's going to take a David and Goliath-sized effort from anyone on the roster to knock her off the top, which is exactly what you want Becky Lynch to be playing into. Becky Lynch is going to be the dramatic underdog in that main event, but that's what's going to make that main event so special.
Yeah.
If Charlotte Flair knocks Ronda Rousey off on 5 days' notice, you could just piss on that match and torch it and just throw it to the wind because it would be done. The Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey talk would dramatically dry up. That's just like lighting bags of money on fire for Vince. You can't do it.
Yeah. Another question: does Ronda Rousey need a sort of undefeated mystique around her?
Yes. Ronda Rousey cannot lose until WrestleMania.
I just thought of something interesting. I just had an interesting thought. This plays into Becky Lynch owning the role as a heel. Yes, she's injured.
She doesn't necessarily have to be actively involved in the wrestling match. But
the thing about it is she could be sending her biggest enemy to the slaughter as well. That's a side of it I just now saw.
If Becky Lynch had hugged Charlotte and then managed to back away and laughing and see here, now you get to go get slaughtered, Becky Lynch would have been carried out of the arena on the shoulders of the fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
She would have been like Caesar. Okay, she would have been just
she's going to be like Julius Caesar, Caligula, and Cleopatra combined.
Yeah, she would have been like the biggest thing since sliced bread if she had managed to pull that off.
Yeah, that would have been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But that's something else that could be underlying as well.
There's a lot of. In my point of view, I see there's a lot of underlying shifts and motions that can happen. I won't deny the undeniable fact is that I really do feel like Ronda Rousey's winning. Yeah, but there's always a chance that Charlotte Flair wins, and that would turn everything sideways. There's a lot of
that would destroy everything that's been built for Ronda Rousey now.
Number one, yes.
And right now, as I stated earlier, Ronda Rousey is the goose that's laying the golden eggs right now. You are not going to do that to her.
The
Not
worst,
before WrestleMania. Not before WrestleMania.
the worst possible outcome on Sunday would be Nia Jax cost Ronda Rousey the match. That would be the absolute
Worst thing.
shit. Yeah, that would be the absolute worst of the worst of the worst, because Nia Jax, I don't know if y'all touched on this in the first hour or not. She needs to be wiped out immediately tomorrow night. Get her out of there and get her out of there fast. Like, Nia Jax does not need to factor into anything right now.
Just make her play. Just make her play in the 5-on-5 and be done with it. That's all.
Yeah, have her be like the shocking roll-up elimination in 15 seconds and be done with it. Get her out of the building and get her out of Los Angeles. Like, you need to not focus a second on her right now.
Okay.
She's going to be booed out of the building immediately upon arrival.
I mean,
And as well she should. As well she should. You can't have this many professionals come out against her and there not be, some fire underneath all that smoke. Josh Barnett called it a shoot punch. Chris Jericho called it a shoot punch. Big Show called it a shoot punch. You can't have that many people in the business. I'm not talking fans. I'm saying people in the business say that she called off and cold cocked her. There's something there. Okay? So you can't have you can't reward somebody for legit injuring someone when they set out and tried to injure somebody. And you can't convince me that Nia Jax didn't set out to injure Becky Lynch, throwing the punch as hard as she did, splitting her hand open as she did. I'm sorry. You can't reward that. That's gross incompetence at best, and it's outright negligence at worst. And if Nia comes out and costs Ronda the match tomorrow night to set up their title feud, that's just taking a big dump on top of the dump that would be Charlotte Flair winning.
That's true. Anyway,
WWE has basically found themselves in a no-win situation.
well, not on their.
That's not surprising. They've set themselves up for no-win situations for.
That's not the first time, of course.
Yeah, of course, but not 100% under their volition, of course. In this matter, that kind of thing happens. But yeah, in a way, it is something that's tricky. So, considering that we have
I think we're all unanimous that Ronda is and should win the match tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if not, it's a travesty.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that it's a travesty, but it's definitely a poor business decision.
Yeah.
But this company, I wouldn't mind seeing some things that result in a vote of gross incompetence on the part of Vince McMahon and sending him to the retirement home early.
I was just about to say, yeah.
I need to invest in more heavy duty safes for that matter.
Yeah, or the grave.
Oh, the grave.
Yeah. Send him to the retirement home or the grave.
Okay. Considering that we are actually touching someone has actually brought up Nia Jax. Let's bring up the Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5 with the women's. Woo!
I really hope that TBD is Ember Moon defecting to SmackDown, but we all know it's Mandy Rose. So what's even the point of having it be a TBD? It's not even a fucking mystery.
Honestly, I actually have a bold prediction.
The Iconics.
Let's guess. Peyton Royce?
No, it's not who you think. It's not who you think. You know
Nikki
what?
Cross?
I think it's going to be Mandy Rose coming out. And
that's what I just said.
No, it's not you.
I said I want it to be Ember, but we all know it's going to be Mandy Rose.
No, it's going to be Mandy Rose coming out. Paige says, no, it's not Mandy. It's Nikki Cross officially making her SmackDown debut. It's officially getting called up.
That would be cool if it was.
It was.
I would like it if it was.
Yeah, I would love to see Nikki Cross on SmackDown, but aren't wrestlers Sanity on Raw?
What? Who?
No, Sanity's on SmackDown.
Sanity's on SmackDown.
Okay. My bad. I know. That shows you how long it's been since I watched.
Speaking,
I don't know where people are anymore.
Yeah, technically speaking, Nikki Cross did actually make her debut.
No, George, Paige ain't gonna wrestle. She can't.
No. It's not going to be Paige wrestling. Well, I think because I kept interrupting Matt, he thought that Matt was predicting Paige wrestling.
Yeah.
But that was my bad.
It's abundantly clear that she's not going to wrestle.
Yes.
I have a bold prediction for y'all.
Okay, another prediction. Go.
This is completely thinking outside the box. I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just a what if.
Okay.
What if we get in there and the mystery member of SmackDown is someone that people expect is going to NXT, but in fact just shoots to the main roster? What if it's Io Shirai?
No. They're not going to put her. They're not going to put her on the main roster right now because her command of English is not nearly good enough.
No, yeah.
Like she's even worse with her English than Asuka is.
Worse than Sane. She's even worse than Sane.
Well, Kairi's actually the best of them right now.
Yeah.
Asuka's worse than Kairi is.
Yeah, because Kairi.
And Io is right now even worse than Asuka. Like Kairi is like tutoring Io as best as she can.
Yeah.
To try and get her ready for it. But yeah, it's
Io Shirai is worse than
it's not going to be Io Shirai. The only other person who I could see as a surprise announcement, and this is about as far from the realm of possibility as it can be. But the only other person who I could see being a possibility here is Shayna being the surprise announcement. Shayna show up with Marina and Jessamine after she loses the title on Saturday.
Wow.
That's the only other like truly surprising surprise I could see.
So basically, that also depends on the result in Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, in which you would predict Kairi Sane winning the title back again.
Yes.
Ooh. But would you want to put Shayna on SmackDown? I'm not saying that's a bad idea creatively, but putting Shayna and you would assume Jessamine and Marina on SmackDown away from Ronda, would you really want to do that at this point?
Yeah, I think that now while the four horsewomen are all separated among brands, it's all right to put the MMA horsewomen separated among brands as well, and that allows you to prolong the eventual conflict between the two groups.
Ooh, you know what? You're right, because you have the superstar shakeup after WrestleMania where you can readjust the rosters.
Exactly.
And that would give Shayna, 5 or 6 months of creative freedom away from Ronda to kind of spread on the main roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that is Shayna doesn't need to be losing the NXT Women's title tonight.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, she does.
The division, for the sake of the division, she needs to lose the title because the division can't progress with an unstoppable champion. We've seen this already with Asuka. The entire division stagnated with Asuka as champion.
But you're hot-shotting the title, though. That's you're damaging the title by hot-shotting it so quickly.
That was their own damn fault for taking it off Kairi in the first place. That was a stupid decision in the first place.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. They shouldn't have had the title change. I mean, it would have been so much better if Kairi had defended the title successfully.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're going to put the title on Shayna at Evolution, why are you going to take it right back off of her?
But she also, again, she doesn't need it, and the division doesn't need her with it.
Completely agree with you on that.
What is going on there in the background? Who is having...
I don't know who's making all that racket because it sure the hell ain't me.
It ain't me.
It's not me.
Probably MDS making all that racket.
What am I making a racket about?
It's somebody's microphone. Somebody's microphone was super distorted there for a bit. But anyway, regardless. I understand that hot-shotting the title is not great, but the division is harmed by Shayna retaining the title, and Shayna does not need to still have the title.
No,
so it is
especially with having Jessamine and having
and
Duke and
Maria.
Shafir in her corner. That makes her basically unbeatable at this point.
Yeah.
And why? Why does she need lackeys to be unbeatable?
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. This whole thing of her being with the two of them. It harms her overall mystique because that makes her look weaker, needing the two of them to win.
Right.
And she's already supposed to be the unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know you love yourself some Shayna Baszler. I like her. I like her wrestling. I've always liked her as a performer, Biff. But they made a mistake putting the title back on her.
I agree.
It needs to go back to Kyrie and stay there.
Yeah, they shouldn't have dropped the title. Kyrie shouldn't have dropped the title at Evolution. That did a lot of damage to Kyrie, saying having her first big title event be a loss. But I don't know that you bring Shayna up now unless you're leaving Jessamine and Marina by themselves in NXT.
No. You can have her come up to the main roster where she's free to make a fresh impression on the majority of the audience that doesn't know who she is, and have her show up as being the a shitbird leader of a stable who is strong enough to get things done on her own, but will also cheat if she needs to.
Well, no, Shayna is ready. Shayna could come up. Shayna could have been up at the main roster after SummerSlam and been just fine. I mean, she's ready. But I'm questioning, is Marina and Jessamine ready?
No.
To come up with her. And if they're not, then why are you going to tease the formation of this Horsewoman faction in NXT and then break it up? Because you can't bring them up. They're not ready. I don't know why you would tease the faction if you're not going to deliver.
Fair
I don't
enough,
think they're going to bring her up just yet. But I agree with you completely. They shouldn't have put the title back on Shayna.
And the thing about it is that Shayna won it with shenanigans, of course.
Yes.
Because Duke and Shafir got involved.
Yeah.
And I knew it was coming when I saw those two ringside.
Yep.
And I saw Shayna Baszler basically get body slammed into their lap. I'm like, well, I know how this thing is ended because it was too predictable at that point.
Oh yeah, of course. It's guaranteed.
And it took a lot for Kairi Sane to do it too, because she could barely pick up Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
The only possibility at this point is that maybe they altered plans because of something on the main roster. Like maybe the main roster decision over the last month has forced them to kind of change plans and course correct.
Well, here's the thing too. Here's the thing too, Biff. Shayna Baszler is head and shoulders above all three of the other MMA horsewomen. That's including Ronda. Why?
Yeah,
she's been out of
mile.
She's been out of wrestling for a number of years. She was trained by Mercedes Martinez.
Yep.
Okay, one of the best women's wrestlers around. Who is working at the performance center, and when she finally retires, it's probably going to be signed as a coach there. Why? Because she's that damn good.
Yep.
Yeah. And Billy Robinson trained Shayna too in catch wrestling.
Yep.
Billy Robinson trained her in catch. Yeah.
That's a hell of a tutor right there.
Yeah, and you think about the tutor that Ronda had. Jean LaBelle, another great shoot wrestler.
Yeah.
So everybody says, "Oh, Ronda's got no wrestling skill." Her grappling skills were taught to her by one of the best shoot fighters around, and Jean LaBelle. The only one I see that was ever better than him would be the old man Hart, Stu Hart.
Ronda Rousey deserves a lot of credit for what she's accomplished this year with so little pro experience. But if we're looking just at the totality of their body of work, Shayna Baszler has become one of the best. Shayna Baszler could be the best pure heel in either women's division in WWE.
Yep.
Like across the entire WWE system, she may be the best female heel in the company. I mean, she's that good. She just
Is there anybody here that would disagree with that? Because I sure the hell don't.
I mean, Rhea Ripley definitely makes a run there.
Go right on the Rhea Ripley train.
Hell yeah, I am.
Well, yeah, I am not going to deny the fact Rhea Ripley is just as good.
She's up there, yeah.
And she's only what? She's only what? 22 years old, same age as Patrick Clark.
Yep. 22 years old,
Yep.
and one of the best in the business right now. She's a goddamn treasure.
Seeing her at Evolution there at ringside, doing the
slow
like she really gave a shit about being there. She's like, she had to look at her face. I really don't want to fucking be here.
Yep.
I don't want to be here.
She is so good with her character. She is so good with her character work.
Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm are future megastars.
Yeah.
They're going to explode.
Yep.
So,
well, you put those. You can imagine a match between those two going on. Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm. Oof.
Keep my mouth shut. Keep my mouth shut.
Well, are you drooling, Chris?
No. Spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I've got them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Maybe
Anyway.
Charlotte is also one of the biggest heels in the company, too. So,
Who?
babyface Charlotte.
Let's quickly schmosey ourselves away to the biggest question that is going to definitely be possible. Okay, who wins? Team SmackDown, Team Raw?
Team SmackDown, because I mean, the way I see it, Team Raw wins on the men's side, so Team SmackDown has to win the other two, and it rightfully deserves to win the other two as well.
Okay.
Does anyone really care about this match?
I mean,
we spent like 30 minutes not talking about the match and talking about anything else under the sun.
Talking about the other people that might be involved. And
other people that might be involved. Because Raw already has a lot of unused sidekicks coming out from the side stands there. So there's that. Okay. So I can't see past SmackDown team. SmackDown women's are gonna win it for the team. So yeah, SmackDown. Let's put it down there. Yes, I am actually I am actually jotting this down for next week's episode. Oh, okay. SmackDown winning. Next, I have Raw versus SmackDown men then.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Why? Do you have anything else to add?
I was going to say, why don't we talk about the tag teams first? So we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, the tag teams, because that's on the pre-show. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, let's get
that. And as we all know, the men's 5-on-5 is going to end up being the main event because of how this company is.
Yeah. Well, then again, we got Brock, there, so that might be the main event too.
They didn't even have Brock AJ be the main event last year, so why would they do that?
Brock, it's not AJ. You see, it's Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
the darling of the marks. If he's not main event, there's going to be a revolt, and they're going to they're going to shit all over that match. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. But okay. 5-on-5. 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 No, not that one. 5-on. No, not 5-on-5. 10 versus 10. Correct.
There's more than that because there's a couple of trios in that match too.
Yeah, so it's basically 10 people versus 10 people, I think, in total.
More than 10.
More than 10?
Because the trios are going to...
6, 9, 10. It's 11 versus 11, it looks like.
All right. By one. Okay. So, quick question then. Who wins? I can't see...
Well, we didn't even talk about the teams, though.
No.
Fine, I'm going to talk about the teams then.
Yeah, let's talk about the people who are in this match, and let's have a moment to mock Team Raw for being basically the movie The Replacements brought to life in WWE form.
I tend to agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
The Replacements.
Yeah, that's what it is. Look at this team. There's 2 teams of value, and then three teams of wait. You actually are still with this company? That's essentially what we're talking about here.
Wow, you are still with the company.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not, Chris.
You're not.
Thank you.
You're not. I mean,
the only team there that make it kind of any sense to me is the Revival
and Lucha House Party.
And Lucha House Party on that side. Then you got teams like, the B team. You're still here. Oh shit! The Ascension. Wait.
Where did you come from? Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Wait, why are you still a team? Chad Gable, why haven't you gone to the Indies yet?
Wait, the Ascension, why are you guys out from catering?
Yeah, that's that. Exactly.
After being buried by JBL years ago now.
And they still have never gotten back. Their moment in the sun was being supporting cast on the Fashion Files.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not. Rumors are flying about who's going to be let go next year, and one of them is one team is Breezango, and the other one is the Ascension. Those 2 teams are rumored to be getting their future endeavor paperwork.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it, but let's skip on that detail and just talk about the whole thing. Yeah. Who's gonna disagree with me if I say that Team SmackDown wins this outright? Even
They
if it's
should.
a pre-show?
They absolutely should.
No.
There's no universe they shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, four out of 5 teams on Team SmackDown are actually great teams and actually, worth their salt and worth.
Let's see. Let's see. You're talking about Usos are great, New Day, Sanity, and Gallows and Anderson.
Yep. The only team on Team SmackDown that is, just there to fill space is the Colognes.
Yep. Or as MDS calls them, the Colons.
Yeah, apparently.
I am not gonna be. I'm not gonna be letting that one go.
You're not gonna live that one down.
You're never living that one down. Nope.
Nope.
No,
fine.
sir.
Fine. I mean, I already have my crazy moments. But probably I'll try again. I'll try and get being kicked about. In any case, okay. The Colons. I can't.
Can we take a moment here to mourn the death of tag team wrestling in this country?
I already done my mourning last week.
I mean,
I've already done my mourning last week for that one. So.
Let me read something off to you right quick. This was the tag team Survivor Series match in '87.
Yep.
The British Bulldogs, the Killer Bees, the Fabulous Rougeaus, Strike Force, Rick Martel and Tito Santana.
Awesome.
The Young Stallions, Jim Powers and Paul Roma. So that's the Colons for you there, MDS. Versus the Bolsheviks, the heel Colons for you. Demolition, the Dream Team, the Hart Foundation, and the Islanders. That's a shitload of talent. And that's not even the best tag team Survivor Series match they ever did.
No.
88 was even better with the Rockers and the Brainbusters thrown in there.
Yeah.
But just how far down the ladder tag team wrestling has come. I mean, the SmackDown side could wipe out every team on Raw. It could be a clean sweep. So,
all the way down we go.
But we know it's not going to happen.
Of course not.
Because,
if by rights, the teams that should be the sole survivors should be the Usos and the New Day. They are the teams. Yep. They are the ones that are worth it. Those two teams right there could go out and fight forever and put on 5-star matches pretty much every time. Every time. Two best teams in the company.
They tear the house down every time they're in the ring.
They should be, as they should.
Chad Gable and the Revival being on the same team on Raw, that is kind of interesting for NXT fans.
Yes.
Given some of the wars they used to have. That's a hell of a little troika right there. But
exactly. Why would they have to do that?
But I mean, this match is like, I'm not even going to watch the pre-show because it's like, you're
going to miss out on what's going to be the best match on the card then.
No, the best match on the card is going to be this one, which is probably going to lead off the show. It's going to be Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
That's the pre-show match.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's on the main card now.
Yeah,
it's on the main card now. It's on the main card now,
my friend.
Thank God. Finally getting some freaking recognition.
Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali is going to be the match of the night, bar none.
Without a doubt.
Which is awesome. That's great. I mean, okay. Let's talk about Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dot. Okay.
It's time for Ali to get the belt.
This is absolutely his moment. It needs to be his time.
And not because he's a Chicago guy like I am. It's because Mustafa Ali is just that damn good.
He is the guy. He's the number one guy on 205 Live. Without him, that show is only about half as good as it is right now. And it is the best show in the company right now.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't see it happening here, unfortunately. I think Murphy holds on to it for a bit more. Now,
why?
Now, WrestleMania, that'll be a different story. I think Ali wins at WrestleMania.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Metal Matt. And I'm going to throw a shout out to Greg from the Grounds for Development podcast. I know Greg would love to have been here today for this match.
He was asked.
Well, he wasn't able to. So.
Right, I know.
He wasn't able to.
But here's the thing. We've been covering this match for a couple of weeks now on the podcast. And one thing that I want to throw out there, Mustafa Ali is absolutely 100%, unless he gets hurt, unless there's like some sort of injury or catastrophic illness, he is going to be Cruiserweight champion. That's a given. The question becomes, do you do it? Do you put the title on him now, or do you build up for WrestleMania? And I think they're going to build up to WrestleMania because Buddy Murphy has quietly been the heel version of Mustafa Ali for this brand all year. He has been the juggernaut. He has been an absolute monster. He has produced so many classic matches for 205 Live. He's kind of flown under the radar because he has been a heel. But, you know, he is one of the 3 MVPs of this brand in 2018 with Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. And unless the idea is to do a Cedric Mustafa Ali rematch, which I don't really see, I think that Buddy Murphy cheats to win. He gets some help from Tony Nese here. I think they stretch this out. But Mustafa Ali, make no mistake, will be Cruiserweight champion no later than by WrestleMania. So I'm picking Buddy Murphy to win this match, but it's not because Mustafa Ali doesn't deserve it. I think they're going to build for an even bigger moment.
Yeah, but that's such a long build, though, and that's the problem. This company does not do well with long-term storytelling, and they haven't done well with it for a very long time. Yeah. So I think that relying on them to have a long build for this is a fool's errand. Because they'll ruin Mustafa in the process.
Chris, the best long-term build they've done recently was Rock Cena going from one WrestleMania to the next.
Yeah, and we all saw how few people cared about that when it came to Blessed.
Yeah, because it would go months without being mentioned, and all of a sudden, oh shit, we got to talk about it.
The only thing that I would throw as optimism in a long-term build is that 205 Live has established kind of a tier of a group of wrestlers that are all kind of in the periphery of the title picture right now, and there's enough diversity there to get you that long-term build that you need. Like Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy are not going to have to feud for the next 5 months. You can mix and match some pieces because you've got Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy. They have unresolved issues that have been hinted at. You still got Hideo Itami and his feud with Mustafa Ali that could play into it. Plus Cedric Alexander trying to work his way back up, and that could be the number 1 contenders match that carries you for a month or so in the build to WrestleMania. I don't think that Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy have to feud all the way to New York next spring. I think come back to it without damaging anybody. That's the unsung thing of 205 Live over the last 6 or 7 months. They have developed an incredibly efficient way of telling stories at different levels of the card that keeps people fresh. And that's the strength of the brand right now, is they can cycle people in and out as needed without damaging them. So there is some degree of optimism. If they do the long-term build, it's not necessarily the death sentence that it would be on Raw. Because if it was on Raw or SmackDown, DOA. There's just
you're forgetting also the fact that there are maybe 14 people that watch 205 Live at this point, and and 9 of them are people that we all know. So it's in that sense it's a
troubling fact.
It's a very, very sad state of affairs, and it also leaves a lot of room for them to just say, screw it, and do something completely idiotic.
Greg and I are working on this, okay? It takes time. We're trying to expand the fan base.
Yes, well, it's I appreciate that, but it's the fact that they keep just putting it on at weird times and not giving it any sort of consistency in its broadcasting schedule, it is not a good thing.
No, I will say this though: they give you a good match every week. So
of course they do. They give you more than one good match every week. They give you a lot of good matches every week. Yeah, but
it's a shame
hardly anybody's watching it.
They did that show dirty.
Well, since actually, believe it or not, Chris, numbers are up since a certain individual realist guy in the room left.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Thank
but,
goodness.
Because I could say that I was going to say, I've been meaning to say this and wanting to say this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali is the anti Enzo Amore.
You're not wrong.
Bar none. He is the guy you put the strap on next to take 205 Live to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a young Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He really does. It's not just in the way he wrestles, but it's the way he carries himself. I think that he's going to be champion.
He's young too, isn't he?
he's a young guy.
He's a young guy.
I think he's 32.
Oh, so not all that young, but still.
He's 32. Yeah, he's 32 years old.
He's not young.
He's from a small suburb in Illinois. I know exactly where this place is too.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Bolingbrook, Illinois. I know.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
I do too. Yeah.
Yep. A lot of freight stuff actually happens in Bolingbrook.
Yes, it does.
I know all about that.
Because I used to pick up a lot of foodstuffs out of there.
Yep. Got a lot of container freight stations there.
If there's
yes, I agree, Madeline. Ali is a much better promo than said individual as well.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's not relying on idiotic catchphrases and stupidness.
Nope. Stupid is as stupid does.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What? You can't.
Sorry.
Okay. So, everyone in favor of Mustafa Ali winning, or everybody in favor?
No, it seems like it's a pretty split group as to
split group.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Mustafa win it, as I'm sure many would, but we know it's probably going to be the other way around.
Because this company loves to make its baby faces look stupid.
Hi, I'm a baby face.
Yep. I forgot about that part, Chris. I'm a baby face. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Although thankfully they haven't done that too much on 205 Live. That hasn't been too much of a problem. Mm-hmm. But it is still a problem.
A problem, yes. It's not the underlying problem, it's just a problem. So
yeah.
In any case, what do we have left now? Oh yeah, let's talk about the tag team match then. Champion versus champion as well. Authors of Pain, Nakam and Rezar with Rick Maverick versus The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. So with Big Show.
It's a sad state of things. The fact that I'm less than enthused about an Authors of Pain match.
Yeah.
No.
These are my guys.
They are not Authors of Pain anymore, Chris.
Then
it's just the name change. This company with its idiotic name changes. This is by far the worst one. Authors of Pain is a damn awesome name, and it fit their aesthetic.
Don't call them.
And now they're AOP.
Now they're AOP.
Mm-hmm.
Their initials.
They are literally just letters,
which I really don't like.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's beyond stupid.
I don't want it to be happening. What's with WWE names? This is my question ever since the year I started podcasting with Taker. What's the problem with WWE names?
Because they're just all they care about is things that will. At this point, it's like what I said. I'm sticking by. All they care about is making sure they can fit things into tweets and putting it on social media and having it sound snappy. And this is one case where you need to have the full gravity of the name. And
what killed Authors of Pain? And I've said this. What killed Authors of Pain has killed them on the main roster is the elimination of Paul Ellering.
I agree.
Ellering was a straw that stirred the drink on that team. Just like he was a straw that stirred the drink with the Road Warriors Legion of Doom. I was seeing a lot of the same mannerisms and characteristics of Paul Ellering with Authors of Pain that I saw with Road Warriors Legion of Doom. And it was working. It was working. But again, Vince only has the likings of one advocate in Paul Heyman, who I'm sick of hearing his voice.
Yeah.
Bring in Paul Ellering. It would have been great.
Drake is doing well enough, and he is a good talker, and I like the fact that he
But
has
Drake is not the same as Paul.
I know that, but here's the other thing though, Taker. You gotta think of it this way. Think about the flip side. The material that they were giving to Paul Ellering for NXT when authors were in NXT was not great at best. I mean, he sold it like a champion, but what he was saying there was was a lot of nonsensical BS, and so you can only imagine if that was what they were having him say on NXT, where the writing staff is significantly better. Can you imagine what sort of BS it would have been like on the main roster? So
it could have been better.
It could have been better everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, too, we really didn't get the opportunity to see Paul on a main roster run yet again.
Not yet.
And because I was one of the ones that first said that Paul didn't want to do this anymore because he didn't want to travel. Well, he made me look like a fool because he tweeted about, I never said I didn't want to travel.
Yep.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
So it's like, well, I just made myself look like an idiot. I'm the baby face. I'm an idiot.
So you're the baby face now. Okay.
There's 3 types of matches on the Survivor Series card tomorrow night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's the matches that look like they could be really good on paper. Rollins, Nakamura, Bryan, Brock.
No, that match is not going to be good.
Well, on paper, it should be fun watching Bryan get ragdolled. If you're not a
that's not fun. I don't like watching anybody get ragdolled.
No, please.
Yeah, not with the way Brock nearly killed poor Sunil Singh on Raw, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Brock has just a trail of corpses behind him at this point. Sunil Singh, Randy Orton. I'm amazed.
Roman Reigns several times.
Roman at Mania. I'm still amazed that he didn't kill AJ in their match last year at Survivor Series.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, there's the matches that could be interesting on paper. There's the matches that there are participants that dramatically need a heel turn. Like, I can look at 2 matches in particular: the women's Survivor Series match and the pre-show tag team Survivor Series match. I would love to see Naomi and Bobby Roode and Chad Gable all go heel for different reasons. And then there are the matches like AOP versus The Bar that I just want to be quick and hurry up and be painless.
Done with.
But again, that's a sad thing for this match because I think AOP versus The Bar would be an awesomely fun hoss fight.
Yep.
Under pretty much any other circumstances,
No.
But with this, the way that it's been rushed, especially, is just no.
Just no. Just no.
Yeah, I mean it's just a sad state of events that we have become.
MDS no like the style, the state of affairs. So
yeah, I mean the state of affairs of WWE is such that I'm at the point where I don't care. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in weeks. I've got several of them on my TiVo that I've not watched. It's like, what's the point? I can go on several websites and get information. That's written out. It explains a lot better than what's going on television. It's like, and I don't care about the product, and they don't care about me.
Yeah. Speaking about, I mean, do we? Man, we've already talked about. Yeah. Let's
finish off with the whole.
I was gonna say let's talk about the the Brian Brock match, but then I realized, oh yeah, so we already did talk about it. Like, it's just the thought of that match has just been so nauseating that I blocked it out of my memory.
Oh yeah, it's going to be nauseating because we know damn well, like you said, if Brock respects you, he'll work with you. If you don't, he won't. And I can tell you right now, he probably gives zero fucks about Daniel Bryan.
Zero fucks given. Yep.
I pity Daniel Bryan going into this match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you should be.
Because he's probably going to get killed, literally.
I pity Bryan Danielson, the real life person.
Yeah, because he's going to be, like Madeline said, it's going to be, it's going to be Bryan Danielson going out on a gurney. And all the Uber marks are going to wonder, well, why did that happen? Daniel should have won.
Can I interject something right quick? Something that we saw in the chat.
Sure.
Madeline asked a question about why Naomi would go heel. This is something that I've been kicking around in my head for a while now. I was looking at possibilities of the SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And something that I have wanted for a while now is for Naomi and the Usos to revert back to heels. Well, the Usos go back to their heelish character, but I want Naomi to kind of go with them because that's something that I haven't really seen out of Naomi. And I feel like you could get a lot of mileage out of turning Naomi heel and having her be kind of like the next big thing to come out of the SmackDown Women's division for Charlotte or Asuka one to challenge.
They already tried to have Naomi go heel back in 2016, and it was a massive failure. Or end of 2015, beginning of 2016, when they had her teaming up with Tamina and Sasha, when they had Team Bad, and it was just a really bad time.
Well,
I think Naomi's face character is something that the crowd likes a lot better. So sticking with the glow and sticking with that is probably the best way to stick with her. I mean, yeah, I would love to see an alliance between Naomi and the Usos too. I think that would be awesome, and I think that I like their current character iterations best out of anybody.
The only thing that gets me with Naomi is that I feel like there's Naomi. I've been waiting on Naomi to explode for like 5 years now.
Okay,
and I feel
but the company won't stay behind her. That's the problem.
Yeah,
the fact that the company won't stay behind her. The crowd loved her when she had her title run. The crowd was all about her.
No, I'm glad that she got her moment in Orlando. She had the title win in Orlando, even though the match wasn't promoted well. It was kind of put in the death slot on that card, but she got a moment in Orlando. But I keep waiting for, I keep feeling like we haven't seen the best of Naomi yet. And with Carmella turning babyface, Asuka as a face, Charlotte still running as a face, Becky Lynch was supposed to go heel. Now she's kind of like the anti-face. I feel like now is the time for Naomi to go full heel, and not the Team Bad heel that we saw, because that wasn't very good. But if Naomi develops like that hardcore edge like the Usos had, I honestly believe Naomi could.
That was what the writing team was going for. That was what the writing team was going for, though, was that hardcore edge.
The timing on that though was bad.
And Madeline said also, Naomi went heel, and the crowd in Britain started throwing racial slurs at her. That's not a situation that you want to expose her to or anyone else to again.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I don't think that's the way to go about it.
No.
And if you really want to, develop some heels, here's a thought for you. Mm-hmm. Why have they not brought back Asuka as the monster from when she was in NXT? There's a heel character for you. Have her put on the face paint and have her turn into the killer again.
Yeah, the Kana type character.
Yeah, have her run as a obviously they're not going to have her work like Kana as she did as Kana, because that would involve her working stiff, and that would just be a bad time. But have her run as that type of character if you want to heal, because that's something that she naturally excels at. Yeah, having her play this eccentric weirdo character that they have her doing, which is that's the best description I can come up with for it, because I don't know what the hell it is.
Well, I think it's a play on her being a gamer and into has written software for such. She's been a developer of that, a web developer of that shit.
I just think that there's so much untapped potential on the SmackDown roster, and part of it is because of misalignments right now. And it's not all WWE's fault. This is not entirely their fault. They did not anticipate what was going to happen with Becky Lynch. And I don't think they intended to turn Charlotte into what Roman Reigns had become. That was an accident as well.
You think about it, Biff. WWE has had a rough month, if you truly think about it. Joe Anoa'i, Roman Reigns, goes down with leukemia and is going to be gone for a while. A few weeks later, one of the biggest matches coming up at Survivor Series gets thrown in a wrench gets thrown into it by Nia Jax potatoing Becky Lynch and breaking her face.
Yeah,
that's two major matches, two major players that they've lost in less than a month.
Yeah,
less than a month. They had nothing else to fall back on. Why? Because they don't develop stories on the lower end of the card where they can just slide one out and plug in another match in that spot.
Yep.
I completely agree with you. I mean, we were talking earlier about the systemic failure of WWE and how the Survivor Series card, I mean, it just feels so flat. And
it does.
Because nothing matters on this card. The one match that had any semblance of meaning went up in a ball of smoke thanks to, an errant right hand from Nia Jax on Monday night. Now, and let's throw this in here too. And I know this is not something that was done here. I have seen people in other forums, excuse me, celebrate the fact that, because Nia Jax put Becky Lynch out of Survivor Series, maybe we get the WrestleMania match, and so people are starting to kind of come around and be like this perverse "thank you, Nia" movement. Screw that noise. Nia Jax should not be celebrated in any respect for what happened on Monday night. Even if it turns out that we get the Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey main event at WrestleMania, that doesn't mean that you should start a "thank you, Nia" movement. Let's be clear here. Nobody should ever wish injury on anyone.
No, I don't.
Not at all.
Who the hell would do such a thing?
Oh, it's happened.
Believe it or not, MDS, believe it or not, there are people out there, and I have seen it on Twitter, that are happy that Roman Reigns, Joe Anoa'i, he has leukemia and is going to be gone for a while. We're so sick of him. And it's great. Yeah. Send him away. I'm glad he's got it's like, you fucking people. What's wrong with you fucking people?
It's easy. They don't
Wrestling
really.
fans are fucking awful people by and large. That's what's wrong with people.
It hurts my heart sometimes,
It does. It hurts mine too.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about it, cancer, we all say it, fuck cancer. And yet it touches so many people. And then you have people out there who wish this upon someone. And it's like, obviously you've never experienced it directly.
Or they
once you have experienced it directly, your attitude changes.
Or they've just decided that they just don't care enough to be willing to.
I mean, I don't care about the product or what they're doing. And they don't care about me. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to wish something bad on anybody. I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy.
Oh, some people are just so dumb, dude.
Yeah, I saw that, Madeline. They're telling Nia. There's fans out there telling Nia they want Roman to die because she punched Becky. Why is it her fault? Why is it his fault? Why is he being part of this? He's not even fucking involved.
He's not even in the company.
He's not in the company right now. He's out getting himself some treatment, trying to get better. And he says he's going to be back because he wants to come back for us, the fans, which I give him all the credit in the world for.
People are blaming Nia. Wait a minute. People are blaming Nia for Roman Reigns. What?
No, people are saying that they want Roman to die of cancer because of what Nia did to Becky.
Why? What the hell what does Roman Reigns and Nia have to do?
That's exactly what
Because
it
they're
is. What
both
did Ro-
Samoan. Because they're both
They're both
Samoan.
Samoan.
They're both
And they think-
Samoan.
They're both
and-
Samoan,
and-
and they're both part of the same family. Believe it or not.
Well, I mean, it's
Oh.
I
by
think it's
technicality. Roman's family and Nia's family
And
are
family
actually
is-
not related by blood. It's more a
familial bond
it's just a familial bond because
Familial
of
bond by blood brother ceremony.
yeah.
by blood brother ceremony, which you're gonna say it's like your cousin twice removed or thrice removed in a way.
Yeah,
It's a
something
long,
like that. Yeah.
something like that. But the
That's
mental gymnastics that they wanted to do just because they wanted to put blame on someone is just astounding.
Yeah, it's disgusting in
Well,
every
it-
conceivable way. Yeah.
It's like everybody saying everything that's wrong with WWE is all Roman's fault. No, it's not.
Mhm.
It's mental gymnastics in and of itself. So
Yep.
It's like people please. Obviously, like I said, I've had cancer touch my family. My both my grandparents on my dad's side passed away from it. My dad had it. My mother had it. She died from it. My mom's stepdad, he had it and died from it. The grandfather I was closest to. My wife LL's had it twice and beat it twice. I wouldn't wish that on I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Yeah.
You know, anybody here. You know, my partner, for Christ's sake, I wouldn't wish him to go back and have it happen again. And he had the same damn thing Roman's got right now.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that wishes cancer on anyone is a disgusting human being that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
you should
That's
reevaluate.
not out.
You should reevaluate your life if you want to
Yes.
get cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Go
Reevaluate your life, please.
life.
Coming from a leukemia survivor, reevaluate yourself if you just want to wish people. I'm wishing you cancer. You are what's wrong with the world.
Yep. You are wrong. You are what's wrong with
What's wrong with
humanity
the
if you are wishing cancer on other human beings.
And anyone that wishes Roman Reigns should die because of what Nia did to Becky Lynch, do me a favor, take yourself to Dick Kick City and just stay there.
LL just gave me a very interesting take. She thinks that there is a possibility that there are people out there who don't believe Roman Reigns is really sick or Joe Anoa'i is really sick.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that
too, but-
before. And every time
Oh,
I
it's
hear that,
it's a work. I've heard that too, and I'm like,
every time somebody says that to me, I give them the verbal beating that they so rightfully deserve because that is the most disgusting thing to say. I can guarantee you, I will flat out guarantee you, Joanna Y as a person would not go out there as Roman Reigns the character and lie to the fans in that way just for a storyline because he has proven himself to be a decent human being of character and quality, and he would know that's a line you don't fucking cross.
exactly, Chris. I agree with you 100%. This is why when the move happens to Twitch, there is going to be a button that you could donate to all the cancer organizations in the world.
Yep.
That's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
That is our shield. That is our sword that we're going to fall on as a group. Because everybody in this group has had cancer touch them in one way or another in their lifetime. Everybody that's part of that group has had it touch them in one way or another in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could do just a little bit, hey, we're doing something.
Yep. Yeah. It's better than nothing.
I really just want to punch some people in the groin right now.
Don't punch
Rightfully
me.
so.
People, the Roman Reigns conspiracy theorists,
Mhm.
like God forbid Roman's never able to come back because of the illness, and people are like constantly saying, "Oh, this is going to be the year that he pulls the wool out from under her eyes and he's going to come back." Sterilize yourself so you don't infect the dream pool, please.
You are what's wrong with the world.
Oh.
And
Yep.
in any case.
They are. And LL just told me something even more interesting, and I'll have more information. Well, shoot, I gotta get it out here pretty quick. Get the names, but her birthday comes up in 6 days.
Okay.
A week from yesterday.
Yeah.
She is asking, instead of for you can give her well wishes, of course, but send a donation to the American Cancer Society.
Yeah, absolutely.
$1, $2. Every little bit helps.
It genuinely does.
Does this mean that I need to cancel my stripogram?
Oh
Yes.
my
Yes.
God.
Happy early birthday, LL.
Mrs. President.
Oh my God. You are all horrible.
And that's what she's wanting. And you know what? I don't see a thing wrong with that.
Try.
Not at all.
I don't see anything wrong with that either. I lived through donations and whatnot. I've had people donate to me back when I was having leukemia as well. So there's that. So
No.
good on you if you donated. Well wishes is also come. But yeah, I have come. But yes, I have to bring this all back to the biggest point of them all. So, okay, who's gonna win outright for the whole Survivor Series? Because this is, again, I have to remind you guys, this is a show about bragging rights.
We didn't finish talking about the men's match. The men's 5
Yeah,
on.
let's bring that
We
one
didn't
back.
finish that.
Yeah, okay.
Why are Baron Corbin and Leo Rush even out there?
Baron Corbin is the quote unquote captain of the team,
Mm-hmm.
and Leo Rush is Bobby Lashley's manager.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Team Raw is very clearly winning this match,
Mhm.
and it's stupid. And everybody who's involved in this match is being wasted. But that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They blew it.
What I'm looking forward to, and what I want to have happen overall,
Mhm.
is I want Raw to win outright overall, for one simple reason. Strowman gets to destroy Baron Corbin like he was destroying Kevin Owens. Please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
That's something that will probably happen during the course of the match and will end up leading to Braun being eliminated more than likely, if I had to guess.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Give me Braun Strowman tormenting Baron Corbin. I'll like Kevin Owens.
Point number. Okay, I'll give a few points. Point number 1: no one on the SmackDown side can hang with either Strowman or McIntyre.
Nope.
Or Joe, if they want to.
If they want to.
Joe could, yeah.
Number 2, part of me wondered this: would Baron Corbin sabotage his own team though?
No.
To get out of facing Braun Strowman in a way.
Well, I mean,
that's possible.
That's possible, right? So there's that. There's one quick point to ponder.
We fail to realize we got the giant killer over on the SmackDown in Rey Mysterio.
That is true.
Rey Mysterio was a giant killer.
That's true, but they forgot. SmackDown also forgot that they've forgotten all about Randy Orton, who's a legend killer in this match, or an Apex Predator. They blew it. They blew that. So another point minus for SmackDown. Considering how
they have to build it all around Shane, remember?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, and since Team SmackDown is captained by The Miz, let's go Team Raw.
Yeah, that's true. Also, that's true. Also, but
give him.
I mean, I have zero shits to give about this match. To be perfectly honest,
Mr. Sal, Mr. Brother Sal, is all excited that Miz is captaining the team.
I hope he gets eliminated first.
Yeah,
like 14 seconds into the match, McIntyre just claymores him, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miz needs to be eliminated first in like 4 seconds. That's how long it should take.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time Drew McIntyre throws Miz into the rope. Claymore, 1, 2, 3, out.
All I'm hearing is a bunch of haters. That's all I'm hearing right now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just saying, come on, guys.
Nope,
you know my displeasure with Miz runs long and deep, Biff.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Miz can just go to Siberia.
There's
Send Miz to Siberia. That is when I will be satisfied.
there's at least 3 people in this match that should be eliminated before me.
Like,
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. Yeah.
Dolph can be eliminated second.
Jeff Hardy can go away.
Jeff's a legend.
Those are fighting words, my friend.
Jeff's a legend. He can stay.
And Shane McMahon has no business being in this match.
No.
Yeah, well, we all know Shane is going to be an integral part of the match, so he's not going to be eliminated first.
I'm hoping.
How many announce tables is Shane going to go through this time, Chris?
At least two. At least two.
At
least two.
Here, though, it's so old hat at this point.
But he's not doing it off anything high, so we don't have to worry about that.
Don't have to worry about it. Yes. He's only going to go.
You know what the real tragedy of this is?
What?
This is WWE comic ineptitude on full display. AJ Styles is going to lose the pay-per-view streak for no freaking reason whatsoever, because except for bad planning. Like, AJ Styles should have a spot on this card. He's going to lose his pay-per-view streak that he's been building up, the longest active streak in the company, by the way.
I thought Charlotte's was.
I think AJ's got it beat.
Charlotte lost hers a couple pay-per-views back.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. Charlotte lost hers.
She had to sit out one of the pay-per-views, right?
Yeah, she had the longest streak until then, and now
What about that?
AJ's got it.
Yep.
And AJ's about to lose it because they decided
they can't have it. They can't have somebody like that.
I mean, but long run, who really cares about pay-per-view streaks? I mean, there really is. That's just a.
The only streak that
number.
meant anything was Undertaker's WrestleMania undefeated streak. That's the only one that meant anything, and that's been long gone now.
no, but you're actively leaving off one of your best performers for no reason. Like, Daniel Bryan had a spot on the card already. He did not have to you didn't have to hot shot the title in such a meaningless way.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. The Uber Marks won. The Uber Marks
screwed him.
No.
Hey, one by one.
They booed Bryan on Tuesday.
No.
The Uber, I'm going to tell you something, and I honestly believe this. I'm not just grandstanding. Daniel Bryan has dramatically fallen off in terms of the organic fan support in 2018.
Right. The organic fans.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The organic fans are like a whisper compared to the inane screaming that you get with the Uber Marks, and that's the thing. WWE doesn't look at numbers; they look at noise, and that's why they did what they did with Roman for as long as they did, of having him be booked like an utter and complete moron. That's why they did what they did for as long as they did with Charlotte being made to be the queen, in lip service to the Four Horsewomen fans, and they only care about the noise that the fans make. They don't care about the actual meaningful bits.
Right. And the thing I was saying, see, Biff, this is what I was trying to get through to you. The Uber Marks are a complete different category of mark versus the organic fan. The organic fan is more along the lines of your casual fan who watches it because it's something to do. It's noise in the background. They don't follow the stories as closely as some of us do, but an Uber Mark a la Metal Matt and Becky Lynch will not see anything but them being the champion forever as being perfect. And that's what people wanted. And they've always wanted this Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan match. Has been talked about for years. It was talked about while he was out retired. Now he's back. And the fandom and the Uber Marks are starting to and they're getting it now. And I'm sorry, Brock's going to kill him.
Oh, Brock is going to kill him, but I dispute the idea that this was a match that a lot of people necessarily wanted in 2018. And here's the difference. Here's the difference. I can show you a difference in the two shows between Monday and Tuesday. When Becky Lynch took a steel chair to Ronda Rousey in the middle of the ring, they were chanting, what do they chant? One more time. That doesn't mean they hated Ronda. Ronda's been cheered all along. They haven't been a backlash to Ronda, but they are so hot for Becky. They were chanting one more time. Becky Lynch could do no wrong. What happened in the match with Bryan and AJ when Bryan dick kicked him? the fans gasped and they started doing the no. And there was audible boos towards Bryan after that match. I dispute 100% that Bryan is going to be cheered out of the building tomorrow night. He is not. This heel turn is actually going to work, and I can tell you exactly why. Because people have gotten tired of the Daniel Bryan character over the last 8 months. That's how bad WWE has done protecting Bryan. They destroyed Bryan. And so now the people are going to be ready for a heel turn because Bryan is old hat. This is not the Daniel Bryan of 2014, guys. I'm sorry, it's not.
But the thing about it is that the Uber marks are wanting that. And by the way, Metal Man, I'm not saying what your fandom of Becky Lynch and the way you are about it is wrong. I was just using you as an example, is all, because your famous line to me is always, well, Becky needs to hold the women's title for 29 years, breaking Moolah's record. It's a running joke we have going on.
I mean, would it be that bad if she broke Moolah's
Yes,
record?
it would be. It would not.
No, it wouldn't be because Moolah's a piece of shit human being.
But it would
should
also
be wiped out of the record books.
But Becky holding the title that long would actually move the women's wrestling back into the Stone Age, which we don't want either.
Well, I mean, if you bothered to have, secondary belts for the women and gave them actual storylines and made them an integral part of the company that people could care about, then maybe you'd have something going on.
Right. But like I said, I just use that as an example. I'm not calling you out, Matt. And I'm not saying it's wrong. But what I'm saying is that the Uber mark, the Daniel Bryan has the same kind of mark fans that Becky has.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Bryan. I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of Bryan, so I'm not really as connected to Bryan as a lot of other people are. But I also feel like Bryan has phoned in a lot of things here, and it's partly because of the booking, but I also think it's partly because Bryan wanted to wrestle. He wanted to wrestle for so long. He finally got his wish, and I feel like now it's like, okay, I got my wish after all this time. Now what?
Now they're going to kill him because we know what one thing we know about Brock is he's good. He is good for and known for concussing people. Daniel Bryan suffers one more concussion, he is done with wrestling. And what are people going to do to Brock? Not a damn thing. Nobody's going to come out a la the Nia Jax heat or the Brie Bella heat or anything about Brock Lesnar. Oh, nothing's going to be said. Why? Because he's Brock fucking Lesnar.
Well, I mean, he's already gotten enough heat as it is for being a part-time champion for not
for
clearly not giving a shit about the company or
so
anybody.
Why would he give a shit about his opponent? I'll just concuss the bastard. Nobody's going to say shit about it.
I don't think Brock is going to set out to intentionally hurt someone with the goal of hurting them. I just think that Brock has a style and he doesn't deviate from it, and it's a very rough house physical style that
Daniel is not suited for that.
Well, this is why I dispute the idea that they needed to change the title. Not only is AJ and Brock going to be a better match than Bryan and Brock, because you're not going to be on pins and needles hoping Bryan don't die. AJ's a better worker than Bryan at this point. I think it would have been it would have been a better story because you had the last year's match. AJ came closer to knocking off Brock than anyone else has until Roman beat him at SummerSlam. I mean, there was a story there. Could AJ actually knock him off? Nobody in their right mind expects Daniel Bryan to knock Brock Lesnar off. Okay.
Let's be fair here. AJ is the better worker, but not by much. George, my co-host, often says we're still waiting for the great AJ Styles match of 2018, and he's absolutely right. We have not gotten it, and I don't think we're going to get it because he hasn't really done anything of worth, and he doesn't seem to want to do anything of worth at this point. So
because here's the reason why, Chris. Here's my belief as the reason why. WWE quit giving a shit about him, so why should he give a shit about WWE anymore?
Ding, ding, ding. They turned him into a mid-card. They turned the WWE title into a mid-card title.
Yep. This is why there are all the rumors that are going around. People are saying that Nakamura, Anderson, and Gallows want to go back to New Japan. Because WWE's given them nothing to do that's been at all worthwhile. And I'm sure there are others who are also thinking the same thing.
If that is the case, then hey, let them go.
Yep.
I love those guys to death, but if it ain't working, it ain't working.
Yeah, but WWE won't let them go.
No,
WWE doesn't want anybody doing anything under better than what's going on under their banner.
I think what gets my goat about this particular situation is the waste. Like, if you were going to have AJ Styles be a champion for over a year, I mean, it was over 365 days. It deserves a better ending to his title reign than the go-home show for a Survivor Series card that is notoriously meaningless.
Yeah, a go-home show.
Hasn't meant anything for quite some time.
On Raw.
It hasn't been quite.
They changed the title they gave that match away. A la WCW. That should have been a match that was done at a pay-per-view. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a WrestleMania-worthy match.
Yep.
Yeah, that should have been, if not gotten to WrestleMania, that should have been the Royal Rumble main event. Or TLC at the very least. They hot-shotted the title on a meaningless SmackDown right before a meaningless Survivor Series, which is a waste when you consider the contenders that AJ overcame. Like, if this was the end result that they had in mind for AJ's title reign, there's no reason that AJ should have held the title for this long. He should have dropped it to Nakamura in the spring, and if he wasn't going to drop it to Nakamura, he should have dropped it to Joe over the summer. It's a complete waste. And then if Bryan was going to be built up as a champion, they should not have wasted Bryan's time with Big Cass for 3 months after he came back. They shouldn't have wasted so much time with The Miz and Brie Bella and Maurice. They did such a piss poor job keeping Bryan hot. It's the waste of it all. They could have been AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan is a dream match on paper, and they've given it away 3 times on TV this year alone.
Well, yeah, that's been the story of 2018. How many times did Nakamura and AJ face off?
Oh, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
How many times did they face each other in New Japan? And how many great matches did those guys have?
They faced each other once in New Japan, and it was at Wrestle Kingdom, and it was the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, and it was easily one of the best matches on the whole card.
Okay, something interesting that LL just heard. She's listening to one of those or watching one of those videos on YouTube that has to do with, reasons X happened. Why Daniel Bryan? Why AJ Styles lost the title? And one of them caught my attention. There is talk of turning the Miz face.
Oh God!
Why? Why would you ever want to
fire?
I brought this up about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because Face Miz, it just worked so well the last time. It worked so well.
Whenever did they do Face Miz?
It was like 2012-ish, 2013-ish, kind of.
Late 13, early 14.
Based on their credit, based on Mrs. credit, it's mostly not because of his fault. It's mostly because of the abysmal booking back then on the Miz when he was the face.
We want the match between Daniel Bryan and the Miz again.
Yep.
But we want it to be for the title. Okay, put the title. So Miz or Daniel Bryan now becomes a what's the word I'm looking for? Transitional champion to the Miz, because AJ didn't want a job to a mid-carder in the name of Miz.
And let's also not forget the likely reason why they want Miz as a face champion, because he has a fucking reality TV show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody just reach down my throat and rip my intestines out, please, because this company makes me just disgusted with life.
If you can let me play it, use it as a jumping rope, that would be good.
Yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
That would be good.
Miz turning babyface would be
Travesty.
almost as much a travesty and a creative disaster as having Becky Lynch come back and go back to making puns.
She's back to making puns.
If you want to,
And what is so wrong with making puns?
Metal Man,
Matthew.
Matthew? You have to use the full name now. Matthew? The full name now.
Matt, I
Matthew.
know that you love Becky Lynch. You can sniff her farts until Kingdom Come, and you would never complain. If Becky Lynch came out, if Becky Lynch came out next week on SmackDown and started, throwing around Dan and yogurt like "yogurt my feelings" page or whatever,
Yogurt.
the groundswell of support would evaporate faster than moisture in the Gobi Desert for Becky Lynch. Like, you want to see Becky Lynch utterly collapse? Have her go back to making puns.
And I think I also think that your card for Los Ingobernables the podcast will be immediately revoked.
Whose would? Matt's or mine?
Matt's would. Matt's.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, go ahead and unmute yourself.
You actually did mute him? Oh, come on. Don't do
did.
that.
As a joke, and I can't. There he is. He's back. And you were probably trying to talk, going, why isn't anybody hearing me?
Matt was pacing back and forth, screaming tartar sauce, and
Yeah.
Rude.
Rude.
Why did I get muted? Why did I get muted?
Yeah, that was rude. Don't mute the man.
Yeah,
Don't mute the man.
Don't mute him.
I did
Anyway.
it as a joke. He knows I don't mean it's not personal.
I know.
It's
He feels like it's gonna be personal.
Nah.
No,
I love TakersMinion.
It's Chris. It's not personal.
I know.
It's a business, as they say.
Okay.
In the movie The Godfather. It's a business.
It's a business. So never mind.
It's a bloody business, Bates.
Matt, can I ask you an honest question? This is something that I've wanted to ask you for a while now.
Cool.
What is more important to you as a Becky Lynch fan? The fact that she could get the WrestleMania main event with Ronda Rousey, or having Becky Lynch go back to delivering the Kanoa puns? Yeah. Let me try that one.
Kanoa pun. Yeah.
Making the pun and being like the happy-go-lucky Becky Lynch that you fell in love with. What's more important to you?
Honestly, main event, WrestleMania.
Okay, then she does not need to change back into anything. I want you to say it with me, okay? This is the first step to admitting you have a problem.
Okay. Come on, no.
Like, if you are a Becky Lynch
Biff.
I'm
Metal Matt knows he's got a problem as a
this is just coming to you.
He just refuses to deal with it.
Matt, Becky Lynch is hot as the sun right now. Don't deviate from what they're doing. Resist the temptation to go back to the light side of the force. The light side of the force is dumb. Okay? Straight fire Becky Lynch is dumb. Say my name, bitch, Becky Lynch is gold. Ride it, Matt. Embrace it. Love it.
Well, isn't it possible to like both?
No, you love it.
Biff, come on. Don't put any kind of underlying majority vote here. He can like what he wants to like.
No, because Metal Matt has to learn.
Oh my God, Biff! Oh my Lord!
Oh my God! Come on, Biff! Don't do this. He's just a young kid.
He needs to grow up. It's time to grow up. Put your big boy pants on, pal.
Let me tell you something, Biff. Metal Matt's only 22 years old. So
yes,
he's got.
Wait a minute, Metal Matt's 22 years old. I thought he was 32.
No,
I'm 32. I'm the old man. Oh, the somewhat old
man.
around here, damn it.
I'm the somewhat old man around here.
I think the in the room is Metal Matt. I believe he's 22, 23.
Oh, that changes everything. Okay.
That changes everything. Huh?
All right, Matt.
Now that changes everything.
Matt, you do you, pal.
The freaking turnaround, the reversal.
Put it in reverse. Beep, beep.
Oh my god.
He's just going to, oh, I did a boo boo. Okay.
Yep.
Nothing
Lordy.
to see here. Nothing to see here.
Lordy. All right.
Okay. Biggest question then. Who's gonna win this whole thing outright? Because we know that this is just a
Ambien.
Raw is going to win the event outright, but I hope that SmackDown takes 2 out of the 3 Survivor Series matches. But I imagine, because I mean, Ronda's going to win for the women. More than likely, AOP will win for the tag teams. The cruiserweights are only on Raw, so for the cruiserweights, that's all that matters there. So it's actually no, it's going to end up being a dead even split because there are 6 brand versus brand matches. Unless I'm missing something here.
Do we need to have a split?
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
So it's going to be probably going to end up being an even split.
Well, no, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of them counting the pre-show.
Yeah.
What? Wait, no. Okay, so we got the 3 Survivor Series matches. Oh, that's right. I forgot the men's. Wait, no. Okay, yeah. Men's primary title, men's secondary title, women's title, tag team titles. Okay, so yeah. Raw does win 4-3. If we assume Knock wins, SmackDown women win, and the SmackDown tag teams win, and then Brock, Ronda, AOP, and the Raw men. So yeah, 4-3. That's my call. 4-3 in favor of Raw.
That's how I see it.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
I'll go along with that.
Me too.
Ditto. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Pretty much it does it.
Man, that does it for this show. I mean, Jesus. The segues were abundant today.
Mm-hmm.
We're abundant, but
Tangents.
not exactly
Unexpected.
of the show. Number 1 and number 2.
I was being Becky shamed.
Oh, come on. and Matt, Metal Matt, is that anything new when you're around me?
No, it happens all the time.
If I didn't Becky shame you, you would wonder what was wrong, or you'd think I was mad at you.
Yeah, I know.
Taker, did I do anything wrong?
No, I just feel like I don't feel like doing it today, and I've been trying to stay away from that.
You could almost say Becky shaming is the linchpin of this show.
Oh,
yeah.
Boo this man.
Boo that man.
Boo this man.
But
Who wants Straight Fire Becky to come back now?
Hey, I'm fully on board with Heel Becky because I believe that Heel Becky is like the hottest thing since sliced bread. So.
God, Biff, you want to? Never mind. I don't want to know what you want to do with sliced bread. That's disgusting.
I really don't want to know either.
Yeah.
No, man.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Whoa.
Back up right there
Right now.
You throw that damn thing in reverse right now. What the hell are you talking about?
You said the hottest thing since sliced bread.
It's an expression.
Yeah, it's
a worrying expression.
It's not hottest thing since sliced bread. It's best things since sliced bread. So yeah, again, I say I don't want to know what you want to do with sliced bread. You strange man, you.
I mean, I could think of an idea, but I don't want to say it out loud.
No.
No.
Shut it down.
You're thinking of the peanut butter is what you're thinking of.
Yes.
Get us out of here quickly.
Okay. Okay.
What are you?
But we all know, Biff. But we all know you get the best thing because ever since you're naked right now, you're getting fucked every single sideways.
Wow.
What did you just say? Whoa! What?
Wow.
I'm staying quiet now. I'm staying quiet.
And with that, I can quickly segue to let's work this all out. Let's quickly close down the breakfast diner. We can ponder on the whole thing later.
Yeah.
What
Well,
MDS just said.
Albuquerque in the last 5 minutes. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
You need to smoke for this one, so there's that.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I think y'all are a bunch of damn dirty minds. Is what I think. Best thing, hottest thing, same damn difference.
let's just get through
Didn't
this.
say the sexiest thing since sliced bread. That would be. If I had said she was the sexiest thing since lingerie, then we've got something. I said the.
Okay.
Let's
anyway,
just stop there.
let's just cut
Stop
it
while you're
off.
ahead.
Thank you.
Cut it
Thank
off.
you.
Take us
Thank
home.
Because the
Thank you so
more
much,
you keep
guys.
talking, the farther in the hole you put down the shovel, Biff.
Keep digging, Watson. Keep digging,
Keep
Watson.
digging, Watts.
Put down
Thank
the
you so
shovel,
much.
Biff. Just put down the shovel.
I apologize for nothing. I'm the victim of a damn conspiracy here today.
It's not my
So,
fault you're
Matt.
late.
Matt Ambrosali, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Doing fine. Just coughing my head off.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. In any case, amidst all the craziness, amidst all the insanity, amidst all the food that's been flying around on the table, thank you so much. This has been the breakfast special for Shootin' the Breeze for Survivor Series 2018. Thank you, honored guests that have been invited or disinvited or whatever it is that TakersMinion is going to do later on.
Disinvited. Uh-oh.
You just made the list.
You just made the list. So there's that. Takers list. In any case, thank you guys for coming over.
Yes.
It has been 4 months since the last one that we did. That was SummerSlam. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, or at least get a semblance of what what we feel about it. But then again, please don't take any of these guys' word or us speaking everything as mere gospel, because we're just being highly opinionated men and women of the wrestling business. That's that. So thank you to AA, to Metal Matt, to Biff, who came in 2 hours late, and to Chris, of course, last but not least, for coming over. So before I run into all of the plugs that I need to do, so we'll start off with Chris. Sound off your blow.
Okay. Well, during the course of the week, you can find me on Twitter at CrazyChris576 for all sorts of interesting and oddball discussions about any topics that come to mind, whether it be about politics or video games or wrestling or music or just the world in general around us. So again, at CrazyChris576, and also remember at CrazyChris576 or twitch.tv/CrazyChris576, where you can find me throughout the week for video games. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays and Sundays starting at 7 p.m., although I will not be broadcasting tonight because I'm going to be going out to dinner tonight with some friends to celebrate one of my friends' birthday. Awesome. Yeah, come on back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be back on the Borderlands, continuing on through our Elemental Roulette Zero playthrough. It's been a ton of fun so far, and I'm looking forward to continuing with that. Mm-hmm. And you can, of course, especially find me on Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, with the good brother to my left, right, and center, George Savas, for Two Guys, One Sport, our wrestling podcast here on the Los Ingobra Nobilistic Podcast Network. We talk all sorts of different content, ranging from WWE to New Japan to the Indies to whatever else comes to mind. Of course, this week we will not be having a broadcast since we are going to be Thanksgiving. Yeah, because for Thanksgiving here in the U.S. and we'll be doing that thing. So if you are looking to hear from us, come on back next week on Thursday. Although George will not be here next week, so I'll be having at least one guest host, possibly more, depending on depending on how everything is going.
Hello,
and who I can grab for the show.
Suddenly, everybody goes hello.
Yeah.
In any case.
So, come on back next week, next Thursday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and we will continue with that. So, thank you guys for supporting the podcast. Thank you guys for supporting the network. and for just being amazing people all around. And we look forward to having you back again.
Awesome. So, with that being said, Biff, where can they find you? Do your plugs.
First things first. How did y'all know that I was naked today?
Because you said you were making a point of saying that you were naked every night of the draft, so we just assumed that
we just assumed that you went naked afterwards. So.
I'm not naked 24/7, guys.
Well, when you're home and podcasting, we assume that that's the state of being.
The assumption that you are.
Well, just because I am doesn't mean I always am.
Biff, plugs now.
In all seriousness, you can catch me Monday evenings, Connoisseurs of Wrestling, 8 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube with Legends Lover, TakersMinion, and George Atsavis. You can also catch me Wednesday nights or Thursday mornings. Grounds for Development with Greg the Hold, aka the Saskatchewan Spinning Nerf Hold over at Cage Side Seeds. And in complete seriousness, I know some people here know what's been going on with me the last couple of days, but I really do apologize for being late getting in today. And I was very appreciative that you guys let me come and hang out. It was good to get my mind off things for a while. So, yeah, it's been a rough couple of days with the loss of a friend and the issue with my brother. So I appreciate you guys letting me come and just chill with y'all this morning. It means a lot to me, guys. Thank you.
No problem.
No problem.
So, Middleman, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at melmat15, and I'm also hanging out on Cage Side Seats, hanging out in the daily and the nightly, as well as the NXT threads and SmackDown threads and stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing my podcast, Ruthless Aggression Era podcast, as always, every Friday. Last night I did a new episode with Face Boss as we took a look at Judgment Day 2004. And next Friday, I'm going to be taking a look at Bad Blood 2004. I do have a guest penciled in. I can't 100% confirm the guest just yet because it's not confirmed just yet, but hopefully everything will work out as we take a look at Bad Blood 2004.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Ambrose Alley, Madam, where can I find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Lady Roshana. That's LadyRoschana. You can catch Violent Wrestling Podcast Wednesdays, 8-ish. Mountain Time, 9-ish. Central Time, 10-ish. And you can also catch me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G in wrestling.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So, do we need to Rochambeau this, or would you always go first?
What do you mean?
Where can they find you, Taker?
Okay, I was kind of like, I'm getting tired, but you can find me at Takers_Minion. That's spelled MINION. Some people are having trouble spelling it. So I can't find you. I can't find you. Go figure. You can also catch me here on Saturdays, of course. Usual time is 11 Eastern, 10 Central, except on Big Four pay-per-views. You catch me on Monday night on Connoisseurs of Wrestling with my wife, Legends Lover, Biff Kensington, and the aforementioned George Atsavis. And this coming Tuesday night...
Oh, I forgot that. Thank you.
A night at the Round Table is going to be airing. It's myself, Legends Lover, and Crazy Chris Colgan. We talk about anything and everything, and this week's conversation is going to be about the legacy of CM Punk and what kind of damage it has done to wrestling in general.
It's going to be a good one. I'm excited.
It's going to be interesting. And all I know is that CM Punk was always a one selfish son of a bitch for most of his career.
Yeah,
even though he said he was doing things to make things better for everyone else, it was all about him.
Things worse. I have a lot of opinions on that guy.
So, yeah. And of course, December 1st is the target date, which is 13 days and let's see what.
About
22 hours or 21 hours and 15 minutes away. We're moving over to Twitch. Us, Two Guys, One Sport, Greg DeHolt and his show, of course, the Grounds for Development, and Connoisseurs of Wrestling. We're all going to be over there during the week doing our show on Twitch. And please come over and show us the love. That's twitch.tv/Los Ingobernables with an O, N-O-B-O, the podcast, and subscribe at the beginning before we get started. Show us all the love. And MDS, of course, you being last, but certainly not the least one. Where can they find you, good sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Dr. Senju. That's MRD or Senju, where I just randomly talk about crap and stuff. Basically, just tokusatsu, Super Sentai, comics, manga, Gundam building, plastic model kit building. Oh, I actually found you a Battleship Yamato, but it's out of stock for now, so I have to catch up on that later. So that, and you can also find me on the. Yeah, damn it. But you can also catch me on the official Shootin' the Breeze Twitter. That's SHOOTINDABREEZ1. Hopefully, I've been a little bit more active participant there because I've been doing a lot of stuff now. So there is that. And you can also, well, that's pretty much it. You can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and also here, of course. There we go. Just type Google out the Breeze and you'll find some. You find some random ones. Yeah, obviously, there's going to be a couple of other Shoot the Breeze podcasts. We're not original by any means. No, in all seriousness, we are not. The name is not really that originally because we are also actually fighting with Tyler Breeze for that matter. But there's that. But in any case. With all that being said, thank you so much for listening. This has been the breakfast special of Survivor Series 2015. Before I run off, let's promote the banner of Los Ingobernables Nobles Tip Podcast with a lot of other people who are doing podcasts such as us. We have Two Guys, One Sport with Chris Hogan and George Chavez. We have Business of World Wrestling with William Fitzpatrick. Violent Wrestling Podcast with Amber Selly and Chris Macri Lopez.
And Metal Matt.
Metal Matt. Oh, you have another person. Now I have to write that. Thank you so much. Okay, and then Match with Don South Guzmano over at Our Lane Media. You have Ruthless Russian Podcast with Metal Matt, Connoisseurs of Wrestling with TakersMinion, Kenson in the Third, George Savez, and Legends Lover, and Grounds for Development with Greg the Five and Biff Kenson in the Third.
Greg the Five?
Greg the Hold.
Greg the Hold.
Number five.
Guys, not to interrupt here at the end, but did y'all hear about what happened to Jim Ross?
No.
Jim Ross had a serious accident. He's got a picture posted on Twitter. His face is all mangled.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
The entire left side of his face, his eye is swollen shut, and he's got.
I just got a photo. My God.
Oh my God! I don't know what happened, but he was in some sort of accident. So
yeah, it took a bad bump, and that the concrete went over. So
anyway,
best wishes to JR. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks okay, but half of his face, my God. Ugh. Maybe he doesn't want to worry a little people too much. But in any case, good luck, Jim Ross. In any case, I'm already finishing up anyway. So, this has been Shootin' the Breeze. Thank you so much for coming into our breakfast diner. We will be closing, and we'll be opening right after Royal Rumble or before Royal Rumble. So there's that. That means a couple of other months.
No, it'll be January.
Yeah, a couple of months. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
just 1 month away. So
About 8 weeks.
So, for Amber's Alley, Mr. Metal Matt, Mr. Chris, brother, TakersMinion, and Biff, of course. I'm Mr. Dr. Senju. Be nice to one another. Make sure to smile, all right? And I'll basically see you next week.
This is another episode of Shootin' the Breeze. Done and dusted.